Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium here in Canton, Ohio. It is state championship night here on WKYC.com as this evening the Kirtland Hornets are trying to win their second consecutive state football championship and their fifth in school history. They'll take on the Ironton Fighting Tigers. Welcome, everyone, to the broadcast booth. Alongside Mark Munch Bishop, I'm Dave DeNatale. Good to have everybody with us tonight. And the Kirtland Hornets, it wouldn't be a state championship weekend without Tiger Laverty and company being here. You can put them in Division V. You can put them in Division VI. It doesn't matter. They just win and win consistently, Munch. And they're trying to kind of cap off that. They're calling it a 5 for the Hive. If they can win a championship tonight, they're fifth in this decade if they can pull it off against Ironton.
You know, I liked it. I'm familiar with 11 and 11.
Yeah.
Because that was St. Ignatius 11.
That's right.
But 5 for the Hive. And let me hit you with this, too. You look at the Kirtland team. In fact, one of our own, Braden Atkins.
Braden Atkins, yeah.
Atkins was up here earlier, and I just said, I said, pardon me, so I'm a bit of a sports dork, okay, and a geek. I said, but I get goosebumps just the thought of thinking of having a son or playing personally for a Tiger Laverty.
Yeah.
And he agreed with me 100-fold. He said, of course, that's what it's like for the program. From the Church of the Iron on Sundays where they're lifting weights before they do off to religious services to just the type of football they play, which is sound, fundamental. And you know what, bro? You mentioned it doesn't matter what division they're in. It belies any division at all. They play with the acumen and the knowledge of a Division I program.
Yeah, I mean, what Tiger Laverty has done now in his 14th year as head coach of Kirtland is staggering. He has a record, career-wise, of 173 wins and just 17 defeats.
Hold on a second. My headsets gave out. 173 and 17.
That's correct.
Only kidding. I mean, He's amazing.
He's amazing. Trying to win. If they win tonight, it would be their 30th consecutive victory. They would have run the table for 2 consecutive years back to back. And, I mean, Munch, it's staggering. Coming back off of a year last year, they were in Division VI. They came here. They beat Marion Local, and that was the proverbial, we got to get the monkey off our back. We can't beat Marion Local. They had lost to them in previous attempts, but they took care of them. And then the way the enrollment works out with the 7 divisions, they move up a class from 6 to 5. And, oh, by the way, back before there was a 7th division, Kirtland was once Division V, and they actually won the first of their 4 titles was in Division V. So now they're back in this D5 class, and they're facing bigger teams, more enrollment teams, things like that. And they haven't missed a beat this year, despite all the seniors that graduated and all the talent that graduated. They haven't missed a beat this year at all.
And one thing to point out, too, when you talk about is the cupboard bare, that this is not, again, okay, if they get the 5 for the Hive tonight, okay, it's hardly over. Their freshman team this past year faced Division I opponents all over Northeast Ohio, and I know for a fact that they took St. Ed to the woodshed.
Yeah, played St. Edward. They played Avon. I mean, they have beefed up. You can only play, and they beefed up their regular season schedule too this year as well. In week 2, they went across town over to Painesville and played Riverside, a Division II team. I mean, Dave Boers is a great coach, and Riverside made the playoffs.
Very good program.
Riverside made the playoffs in 2018. I mean, and it wasn't even a game, to be honest with you. I mean, Kirtland, from start to finish, pretty much dominated the Beavers in that game. So they're not getting complacent by beating the same old Division 5, 6, 7 schools, beating, the teams on their schedule, whether it's Wycliffe or Independence or Cuyahoga Heights or whoever they play in the regular season. They're not getting complacent. They continue just to stretch themselves out year in and year out. And the names change, but the success is pretty much the same.
And one thing I wanted to add, I'm glad you mentioned, because you look at the Martin DeRazio program over at Cuyahoga Heights, based at the Teepee, over on East 49th. Well, in the last few years, the gap between those two schools have widened.
Yes.
And Cuyahoga Heights is still very, very, very good. Just shows you what Tiger Laverty and the Kirtland Hornets are doing.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I thought that there was a legitimate chance that we would have seen Cuyahoga Heights play here today in Division VII, and they got upset on their way here to the final. I think it was Clyde, that knocked them out.
Up champions.
The Cubbies. They didn't actually. By the way, Tyler Carey is still upset that the Lucas Cubs felt today. I felt bad in D7.
You know, I want to get this out. This is cool. This is what it should be all about. Don't know if you heard, but Lucas and Mansfield, both Richland County schools, is that when Mansfield left to go to their game, the Lucas Cubs came. Made a ton of players to escort them to their buses.
That's pretty cool.
Conversely, when Lucas went to their game, same thing as the Mansfield Tigers. This T.Y. G-E-R-S.
T.Y.
They came out and did the Tunnel of Pride, too, for the Tigers.
So if you're scoring at home, that's at least 3 Tigers that are here on championship weekend.
Tiger Laverty.
Yeah, Tiger Laverty is 4. But the Washington Maslin Tigers, they lost here on Thursday night in Division II. You had the TYGERs from Mansfield. They lost yesterday to Trotwood Madison. And now tonight, to wrap up all 7 of these championship games, Kirtland will face the Ironton Fighting Tigers. And for Ironton, we'll talk to you a little bit about that. I mean, this is a program that, if you know enough about Ohio high school football, this is an old school traditional power. They won state championships in 1979 and 1989, and they were runners-up in 1999. But it's been a while since they've been to this point. 2 years ago, they went across town over to Portsmouth and tapped a 25-year-old former Portsmouth West standout and former Michigan State Spartan standout by the name of Trayvon Pendleton and said, come on over and coach us.
One, by the way, who helped beat Ohio State in Ohio Stadium while wearing the green and white of Michigan State. And you can say Sparty on that night.
And all Trevin Pendleton has done in 2 years is go 19-6, back-to-back playoff appearances. They were 6-5 last year, 13-1 this year with the Fighting Tigers, and now within 1 game of winning the school's 3rd state championship.
You know, it's amazing, too, because you'll be able to hear them with our field mic, but Ironton not only is the pride of the Ironton community band out there and their cheerleaders, but boy, we're right above their stands. They're on the home side. They're making noise. They're ringing bells galore. But then you look at the Kirtland side, they're filled in nicely between the 30s, and the student section is ready to get a little raucous. So this is what it's all about. And Dino, again, I'm a Buckeye homer, honk and shill, okay? But the bottom line is these games do not belong in a 107,000-seat stadium. This is perfect. You know, I've always said you take this brand-new Tom Benson Stadium and shout out to the Hall of Fame and Museum for Pro Football for putting their stadium together. This is as fine as any stadium in the country. They just shrunk it down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I get where schools like Ironton, it's a long ride for them. I get it.
But they came in Thursday, right?
They came in Thursday. I get it. I understand. But it's much better than to play in a three-quarters empty Ohio Stadium. Now, at some point when the Haslams build the Columbus Crew a new stadium, and they've already broken ground down in Columbus, talk to me then if that can play, if you can configure it to play football. I'll listen to that, but there's not a finer facility, as far as I'm concerned, than where we're at here in Canton. All right, about Ironton here as we get ready for kickoff, about 6 minutes or so away from getting tonight's game underway. As we said, they're 13-1 under Trevin Pendleton, and Munch, it's the kind of values that he played at Portsmouth West and for Michigan State. It's hard-nosed running, and he's got a guy to do that in Reed Carrico. Understand and remember the name, Buckeye fans, Reed Carrico. He's going to be playing for Ryan Day in 2 years. He's a junior. He's already committed to the Buckeyes. He's a two-way player here for the Fighting Tigers as a running back and a linebacker. He'll be a linebacker, though, for the Buckeyes. And if Ironton is to win this game tonight, Reed Carrico's name is going to need to be called early and often, both sides of the ball. He's the defensive player of the year in the district, and he's also a 1,500-yard rusher offensively.
6'3", 225. Give me that size, and then give me that size in college.
Yeah.
For a running back or even a linebacker, one that could keep up with receivers, tight ends, and go out in coverage. He's a player, and what's going to happen in a game like this, and again, not for the faint of heart. For the most part, this is supposed to be a tough, hard-fought game. It's the final 2 best teams in the division standing. But what makes a difference in games like this? Different makers. And Carrico is one of them.
Now, for Kirtland, this is actually the first time. It's crazy. Tyler Carey and I were talking about the other day. We've talked about Kirtland all year. This is crazy. It's the first time we've actually called a Kirtland game all year long, but here we are where we were last year at this time with the Hornets in the state championship game. As far as players to know, who you're going to need to know as far as the Hornets are concerned, Mason Sullivan and Luke Gardner. They are a 1-2 combination on offense and defense. They have combined this year for over 3,200 yards rushing, actually over 3,300 yards rushing, and 53 rushing touchdowns. Sullivan had 1,798 yards rushing in 14 games to this point, 30 touchdowns. Gardner, 1,535, 23 touchdowns.
Pick your poison kind of thing. And, we've heard of great tandem running backs before, where there's Bider and Mack, the old legendary Pony Express before the Pony
James
Express
and Dickerson,
was carrying packets of cash, okay, before that happened. But you've got Gardner and Sullivan as good as any. And once again, we're not just talking Division V, in any division in the state. But, Dino, as you noted, because of those two running backs, that is the forte. That is what built this Kirtland team, running the football. They must run the football. They must eat the clock up and keep the offense of Ironton off the field.
Liam Powers for the Hornets has thrown 58 passes this year, so it's not like they haven't thrown the football, but compared to Gage Salyers, Salyers, the quarterback for Ironton, much more comfortable throwing the football. They're more of a balanced team, are the Tigers, than the Hornets. So Kirtland's got to make sure that they play with the lead, they play with the advantage, and they're not asking, trying to come back from being 10 down or 14 down, because they're not necessarily equipped to do that. They've got the athletes to do that, but they're not necessarily a scheme equipped to do that.
Just so you know, and just to point out what you're saying, for that many passes and now it's 14 games in.
Yeah.
That's not even four a game.
Right. 34 completions for Powers, 721 yards. Now, keep in mind, some of that is, Kirtland has been, beating teams to the point where they don't have to play their big guys in the second half. But, if you average it out, Munch is right. It doesn't come through to a lot of passes. Okay, ready for the national anthem. Let's let you enjoy that on the field with us here. Ironton Band. And we'll be back with you here in a second. All right.
Marvelous.
Yeah, nice job by the Fighting Tiger Band down on the field. Ironton is technically the home team. It just kind of depends. It's unique how they do it. It's bracket-based, I guess, was the explanation we got. Even though Kirtland is the #1 team in the state, they would be the higher seed. Ironton is 5th, but Ironton is the home team. They get to wear the dark jerseys and have their band perform before we get started. All right, Kirtland won the toss, and they elected to defer.
Does that shock you, Dino?
It did a little bit, to be honest with you.
I will tell you this, is our friend who got Coach of the Year from Mayfield mentioned to me that he goes, "Hey, Munch, I've heard you many, many times, just so you know, we don't feel that we can win or lose the game on the opening kickoff." I did talk about getting points on the board early, asserting your influence. So a lot of coaches look at that way, but we talked about Kirtland not wanting to fall behind, not wanting to have to throw the football. If it's in the game plan, which it will be mixed in somewhat, that's very, very cool. However, is that put it on the defense to stop Ironton, but to me, that's a lot of pressure right from the get-go.
It's a ton of pressure. Ironton's offense will have Gage Salyers at quarterback, Reed Carrico and Cameron Deere are the running backs, Trent Hacker and Jordan Grizzle. Grizzle's a good one, fast wide
Hold on a
receiver.
second. So we'll be able to say, I could say at least one today, he runs like a deer?
Yes.
Nothing runs like a deer?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Ashton Duncan is the tight end. Noah Davidson at left tackle. Matt Davis is the left guard. Lucas White at center. Riley Boggs is the right guard. Ryan Cecil at right tackle. Something to watch tonight. Davidson, 6'5", 305 pounds at one tackle. Ryland Cecil, 6'1", 275, a sophomore on the other side. This is a big Ironton team, bigger than Kirtland. However, Kirtland, Munch used that term earlier. Matt Gall wrote a great piece in Cleveland.com about this.
Shout out to Matt today.
Yeah,
It was
he wrote
brilliant.
a great piece.
Way to go, Matt.
The Church of Iron. Kirtland has emphasized weight room, strength training, and they're not intimidated by size
And
at
brother,
all.
last year they win the championship. 2 days later, they are in the weight room on Sunday for their Sunday services.
Reed Carrico is back deep to receive for the Ironton Fighting Tigers, who wearing old school like Cleveland Brown jerseys.
Very cool.
Yeah. Complete with the orange helmet with the brown and white stripe on it. Not bad, guys. Kirtland in their road white jerseys with the blue pants and the blue numbers. We are set to go. Mario Roden will kick it off, and tonight's game is underway. State championship here on WKYC.com. Ironton has it at the 25, going to the 30 to the 31-yard line, and being brought down there, Kyle Howell on that return. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Fighting Tigers.
Yeah, I don't know if you play pool at all, but that was a pull shot placed in the side pocket. They wanted nothing, and rightfully so. It's not a fair thing. It's a respect thing.
Yep.
They said, how can we turn him all he wants? We're not getting Carrico more touches than he should have.
Mike Russ, Mike Alfieri, Braden Atkins, and Jamie Torok are up front. Luke Gardner, Carson Andonian, and Louis Lonkar are the linebackers. Joey Grazia, Mason Sullivan, Tommy Drzetic in the defensive secondary. 1st and 10, Ironton. From their own 31, they will go a keeper. Salyers runs to his left, breaks an initial tackle, and then is brought down for about a 1-yard gain at the 32. Joey Grazia, the corner, came up to make the tackle for the Hornets.
It's interesting, too, because playing with 3 DBs tells me 2 things. One, their linebackers could cover receivers if need be. But number 2, it's amazing their speed. Dino, I cannot remember, and I don't care what division, what team I've seen, people just can't turn the corner on the Hornets.
So tough.
Oh,
They're so fast on the pursuit. 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9. Salyers will turn, and he'll hand the ball off to Carrico, trapped in the backfield, but breaks away initially and got to the outside to about the 34. So give Carrico a lot of credit. He was able to make something out of nothing and took it out. They'll spot him at the 35, so give him about 4 on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down and 6. Anthony DeMarco on that tackle.
you know what else? Something's interesting is that 19 got up there in a hurry. Drzetic, 6 foot, 190-pound senior, he bounced off of Carrico.
Yeah.
Oh.
We may see a lot of that. You're gonna need to go low and get some help on him.
Mm-hmm.
Shotgun here for Salyers. He'll keep it on 3rd down, and Kirtland's ready for him right at the line of scrimmage. Down he goes at the 35, trying to quarterback draw. Mason Sullivan finished off the play. I think Louis Lonkar was down at the bottom of the pile as well. A good stand by the Hornet defense, and we will see Avery Book in to punt it for the Tigers.
It was amazing. Lonkar at 5'11", 200. He got down low, got between White and Boggs. You're talking 230, 265, okay? And just submarined him and got to the quarterback.
Good pressure from Kirtland on that punt, and it'll be a fair catch. Anthony DeMarco will make it inside the 30. DeMarco, they'll say, at the 26-yard line, has it there. 1st down and 10. Liam Powers at quarterback for the Hornets. Luke Gardner and Mason Sullivan are the running backs, although we'll see DeMarco in there quite a bit. Tommy Gogolin, Gage Sullivan are your split ends. Tommy Drzetic at tight end. And then your offensive line, Mike Alfieri at left tackle, Christian Gurman at left guard, Jacob Malvicino at center, Braden Atkins at the right guard, and Logan Snowdell at right tackle.
Dino, are you of the school that, you know what, we got to run at Carrico, or just keep what we do regularly around?
I think you do what got you here.
Mm-hmm.
On first down, Power's going to throw on first down. Lofts one deep right side, has a man there. It is caught inside the 45, inside the 40, and I believe that is Luke Gardner on that catch. It was either Gardner or Gage Sullivan. They'll spot it inside the 40-yard line. Wow.
And I want to tell you something. You cannot throw a ball prettier than that, and it was done that way, and they're coming right up to the line of scrimmage already. They want to hurry up and hustle. That ball was placed as if the long arm and the long went out and put
There's
it in.
Gage Sullivan on the catch.
Yeah.
Now Powers will go on the ground, and breaking tackle Sullivan to the 15, 10, 5, and he is in. Touchdown, Kirtland.
Oh, the hive is buzzing, Dino.
2 plays.
Oh, my.
All it took. And Mason Sullivan caps it off with that touchdown run from 27 yards, his 31st touchdown of the year. Everybody on Ironton thought that Sullivan was down, except for Mason Sullivan, and once he broke through, he was gone.
10-19 mark, not even 2 minutes in, and Kirtland already puts the pig in the end zone.
What a stunning start by the Hornets. They go in the air, completely out of their nature to start the game on the Powers to Sullivan pass. And here's the extra point. It's up by Mario Rodin, and it is good. 7-0 Hornets. 10-19 to go here in the first quarter. Wow.
And nothing fancy. What happened? Well, we told there to be some trap blocking in the middle, especially with Brayton Atkins at only 5'8", 170. But again, it's the size of the fight in the dog, not the size of the dog in a fight. And he epitomizes that, as does the rest of that offensive line.
That was a 74-yard touchdown drive. It was a 47-yard pass from Liam Powers to Gage Sullivan, the sophomore. And then it was Mason Sullivan on the very next play, darting it in from 27 yards out. That, you couldn't have scripted a better start for the Hornets. They get the 3-and-out on defense, and they come right back with a 2-play touchdown drive.
Now, again, we're only at 10-19. Dino, I don't hear anything. We're on the Ironton side, and they were loud as bejeebers there to start the game.
You talk about a stunning start. I mean, if you're Ironton, wow.
Let's see if they keep it away from Mr. Carrico again, because Kyle Howell and Carrico are back to receive the kickoff.
Yeah, I would imagine that Mario is going to kick this ball to Howell every time. Now they may shift some things, or try a reverse, but they're kicking away from Carrico, and again it's going to be Howell backpedaling, makes the catch at the 8-yard line, goes middle to the 20, finds a seam to the 25, but got tripped up and falls down at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Fighting Tigers from there.
The proverbial sniper got him that time, but someone got him around the ankles. Hey, you just start grabbing. You try to get any part of him you can. If I can hold on to his jersey, fine, I'll act like an anchor to slow him down. But you just got to get him by the ankle, and that's what's going to happen.
How good has Kirtland's defense been this year? Coming into tonight, they have allowed a total of 86 points in 14 games. You do the math, that's slightly better than 6 points per ball game. Gage Salyer's ready to go, 1st and 10. He'll keep it, runs up the gut, and runs into a brick wall of Hornets after about a 1-yard gain.
Someone grabbed him from behind, which tells me in that short of a box, it's like fighting in a phone booth.
Yeah.
They got him from behind and pulled him down. How did you get back there that quick?
Lonkar grabbed him from behind, and then you had Alfieri and Adkins, the 2 defensive ends, or defensive tackles, I should say, who stood him up.
Well, Dino, who the heck is Lonkar? Harry Houdini?
Right.
How did he get back behind him that quickly?
He's fast.
And we saw him submarine on that 3rd down play, too.
2nd down and 9. It's been tough going early here, as they'll go with 3 backs in the backfield. Almost like a T.
Yeah.
And running it to the left side is a new back we haven't seen tonight. It's Seth Fossen on the carry, and he gets very little. Back maybe about a half yard, and that's it, as they tried to run him to the left, and now they'll bring the receivers back in on 3rd down.
Just to try to describe it to you, it was almost as if it looked like the old Oklahoma wishbone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is basically taking a square,
exactly right.
turning it sideways.
That's exactly right.
Bro, I saw that wishbone with Billy Sims, Elvis Peacock, Kenny King.
So they go from that now to like a pistol look here.
Yeah, with three
wide receivers and Carrico right behind Salyers. Big play here for Ironton. Now 3rd down and 9. Salyers to throw over the middle. Pass caught at the 35 and stretching near the 1st down marker. And I think he should have it. I think it's Howell on the catch. And it will be a 1st down for the Fighting Tigers. Yeah, that's a catch by, actually make that back, Trent Hacker on the catch.
Hacker 6'2", 180, used every inch that he had. They actually had him stopped. He just got that little extra surge to get the football out there.
I saw a 0 down there. I didn't know if it was Howell or Hacker, but it is Hacker on the catch, and it's a first down for Ironton. See if that gets them going a little bit here. As again, Gage Salyers will do some shifting here, moving his offensive line now. It's almost like an unbalanced look here. 1st and 10, shotgun with no wide receivers. Carrico gets the carry, and he'll bounce out to the 40, maybe the 41-yard line, and then he gets put down there. Tommy Drzetic helped to finish off the play with Louis Lonkar, and it's about a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
To show you how powerful that young man is, he was met at the line of scrimmage. He got 3 yards on his own, almost like a Nick Chubb type, the run after the initial contact.
Jim Donovan's adopted son, Nick Chubb.
I'll tell you what, Chubba Dubba Dubba, right?
Oh, yeah, Chubba Wubba Hubba. Now, they'll go back to that wishbone look with 3 backs. Salyers under center, 2nd down and 4. Quick hitter to Carrico, and Louis Lonkar grabs him and puts him down with Braden Adkins at the 42-yard line. So only about a gain of 1 there. Louis Lonkar has been everywhere here in this first quarter, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Not just put him down, Dino. Lonkar, I'm calling him Scrap Iron from now on. He met him head-to-head.
I think he'll like that name.
Oh, by golly. He just stood him right up.
Louis had a terrific season. The 5'11", 200-pound senior. 2 sacks, 7 TFLs. Another 3rd down here for Ironton. 3rd and 5 at their own 42. 3 wide receivers. Again, quarterback keeper. Salyers running left side. He's got room and will have the first down as he runs out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Anthony DeMarco over there to run him out of bounds, but that time, Gage Salyers able to get to the outside and pick up that first down. He's run for 700 yards this year, 718 to be exact, with 13 scores.
He ran wide, and I said that people can't get around the corner on Kirtland. Well, he didn't, but he only needed to get 4 yards. That's usually what you're going to get tops.
So you've got Cameron Deere back in the game. He's the fullback. So another different look here. Salyers going to go under center in an I formation look.
Oh, I like that. You don't see that too often these days.
Deere the fullback, Carrico the tailback, Salyers to throw, being pressured from the backside, rolling right, and down he goes at the 41-yard line. Joey Grazia on a corner blitz came over to make the sack.
Well, I got to tell you something. I want to see who's calling the defensive plays out there for Kirtland, because this has just been brilliant. I understand we are just not even halfway through the first quarter of play, but they're mixing up the defense as good as you can.
Actually, I correct myself. It's Mike Russ coming in from his defensive end. I saw a 2, and it looked – I'm not used to seeing a 12 as a defensive end.
5'10", 160.
That's his 5th sack of the year, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Nice job, Mike Russ. And now it's going to be 2nd and 16 after the sack. Salyers quick drop, looking left, looking right, nowhere to go, and he's going to have to throw it away at the 50-yard line. Closest man downfield was his tight end Ashton Duncan, but just no time for him to throw.
Alfieri was right there, 6 foot 230-pound senior. He was staring him in his face. In fact, I can guarantee it as the Salyers knew what he had for lunch. That's how close he got to him.
I mean, Munch, early indications, the Kirtland defense, the defensive line, they may be giving up poundage, but they're not giving up in terms of toughness, and they're getting to Gage Salyers and this Ironton running game. Just about halfway through this first quarter. 3rd and 16 now for Ironton from their own 42. Here's Salyers to throw. Has all kinds of time. Now he's in trouble.
Rush and he's in trouble.
And it's incomplete at the 50-yard line.
Dino, hold on a second. When was the last time you saw a 2-man rush and they had Carrico back to block? They had a tight end block, 2 against 7, and they beat
Still
the 7.
got it there. Still got it in there and made Salyers have to essentially throw it away.
Ugh.
Impressive defense here from Tiger Laverty's squad. And now we will see Avery Book to punt it away. Anthony DeMarco in single safety at his own 22. Low snap. Book does a good job picking it up and gets the line drive punt away. DeMarco on a running fair catch, backpedaling, and makes the catch at around the 20-yard line. And Kirtland will start there, 1st and 10. I think they may actually say Anthony, when he made that catch, made it inside the 20 near the 18.
It was interesting, too, because he's fair caught both catches. Why? They're sending 10. Right. They want to get to that football. They want to turn this early. They beat
everything Kirtland has done tonight has been aggressive to this point with their play calling offense, play calling on defense, And on special teams, I mean, they have resolved. We're going to take it to Ironton and not just be or maybe our normal selves in this game. And psychologically, Munch, I think it's worked here for the first portion of this first quarter. They'll have a stoppage in play as we're at 6:01 to go here in the first quarter.
I'm a military history guy, and the first thing when I saw they deferred the toss, what did I say to you? General Patton never deferred. However, maybe that was lulling them into the little ambush there, okay? Because all I've seen is attack since Kirtland's had the ball on offense, defense, and special teams.
And this is an Ironton defense that themselves has had a good season. They've allowed just 104 points on the campaign. So, I mean, Trevin Pendleton's team has had things go their way defensively, but Kirtland out to an early lead, 7-0 on the Mason Sullivan 27-yard touchdown run, following the 47-yard pass from Gage Sullivan, catching it from Liam Powers.
Dino, I've got to hit you with something. I noticed that the nose tackle for Ironton, 76, Nathan Cochran, 6'3", 260 sophomore. This year, Hoban had a freshman nose tackle, Jason Martin. Mm-hmm. Is it that the younger kids, they go, hey, you're our cannon fodder, okay? You're going to go out there and basically get the bejeebers beaten out of you.
That's it.
So the younger kids are like, just want to get out there.
Yeah, your job is to plug holes.
Yeah, tie up the center and guard. Yep. That's all we're asking.
Yep.
And when you see both hands in the dirt in a 4-point stance, and boy, now Ironton fans are starting to make noise. You know that they're there for business.
1st and 10, as we resume action. Kirtland has it at their own 18-yard line.
Stacked high with 3 running backs.
Triple stack. And Liam Powers will give it on first down, and he'll give it to Luke Gardner, and Gardner is going to be put down at the line of scrimmage, maybe behind the line of scrimmage, back to the 17.
Seth Fawson.
And from his defensive end spot on the tackle.
Well, he speared him and just took him right down.
Yeah, same look, triple stack, 2nd down. This time Powers going to throw off a play fake. He's got time. Now he rolls right. You're going to have to run with it, and he's in trouble. He could be sacked back at the 8-yard line. Just did not have anywhere to throw it and finally had to eat it. Cameron Deere made the sack for the Fighting Tigers.
What do you do, Dino? You don't want to throw the football and get it picked off when you're down there. Could he have thrown it out of bounds? He may have. However, I noticed the safety in the corner were lingering.
And he was still in the tackle box at that time. He wanted to get outside. He couldn't get it.
You don't want a grounding back there.
No. So the ball goes back to the 9-yard line after the Deer sack, and it's 3rd and 19 for the Hornets. So Ironton, out of that timeout, they've come back and played a lot better defense. Powers is going to loft one up to the right side. Looks for Sullivan, who makes a great catch. Gage has it at the 29-yard line, and a first down. What a throw by Powers, and what a remarkable catch by Gage Sullivan.
Hey, do you know what Gage Sullivan using? All 6'4". I got a guy like that. I'm throwing to him more
Absolutely.
often. Get some jump balls.
He had single coverage, and Liam Powers just put it to a point where only Sullivan can get it, and it required a miraculous catch. Gage Sullivan, we're not even a quarter of this game in, has already had 2 catches for 67 yards. He needed 19 on that last one. He got 20. Fresh set of downs for the Hornets. They'll go to a running play here as Powers will keep it, and Powers will run it across the 35, and he'll be put down at the 36. Good fake. Everybody was going after Mason Sullivan there, and instead it's going to be a pickup of close to 8 on first down.
Amazing when you least expect Kirtland to do things, then they come around and do it.
Right.
But they're successful in it. They do it right. What did we talk about before the game? They execute as well. Dino, I'm going to say they execute as well as college programs.
8 yards on that run by Liam Powers. Back to the triple stack. 2nd down and 2. And this time it'll be a ground gainer. Sullivan's got it. Mason will get the first down across the 45. And he'll go to the Kirtland 48-yard line. Gets about 11 on that pickup. And the chains keep moving. Another first down for the Hornets.
They ran right at Cochran, Deere, and Carrico. Almost a little bit of a sleight of hand like Chardon's always so good at doing, Faked it to one, put it in the gut of Sullivan, and he took off from there.
And Mason will get it again. Sullivan crosses the 50 into Ironton territory down to the 46-yard line. Gage Salyers, who is also the free safety in addition to being the quarterback for this Ironton team, makes the stop. But that's a gain of 6. Chunk plays here for the Hornets.
3:10 left in the first, 7-0 Kirtland.
Powers under center. He's got Gardner. He's got DeMarco and Sullivan in that triple stack. And he'll go to Mason Sullivan again, the second man through. He'll cross the 45 down to the 44-yard line. It will bring up a third down and about a yard or so.
Put it this way. You had 5 linemen on Kirtland that time, move straight ahead and push 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers back a couple of yards.
Big Ten championship game going on in Indianapolis. Wisconsin on a Jonathan Taylor touchdown out to an early 7-0 lead at Lucas Oil Stadium. On 3rd and short, Powers going to keep it. Initially looked like he was going to get that first down, but I don't think so.
The wall closed quickly. You had safeties coming up there too. And Dino, not from you, but from friends that are listening to us also keeping an eye on the Ohio State game, please don't give me uh-ohs when it's 7-0 with how much gone in the game.
Come on. That was
Turn the
TV
drive off if that's the case. Just listen to us. You don't deserve to be watching the Buckeyes.
You'll be fine,
Thank
folks. Long way to go. All right, it's going to be 4th down and really a full yard. So they'll say it was a no-gainer for Liam Powers. Backs will be split, tight right, 4th and 1. Mason Sullivan gets the carry. He'll get the first down to the 40-yard line.
3 yards, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Needed 1, got 3.
4,
yeah.
And you know what? In a case like that, lucky everybody was on him. Had he broken that last tackle, he sidestepped something, he was off
He's
to the
gone
races
again. Yep. Cameron Deere on the stop. First down for the Hornets as we go under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Kirtland, and they're on the march again after a 27-yard touchdown run by Mason Sullivan earlier in this first quarter.
You have to remember something, is that Kirtland won the championship last year. Ironton has not been in the game for 20 years, and there is a little bit of difference. I don't care how good you are when you've been there and done that.
As they'll go on the ground again here at the 40-yard line is Mason Sullivan. And he'll go inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. About a gain of 1 there. Reed Carrico on the stop. We're down to 1 minute to play in the first half.
Carrico has to be able to go sideline to sideline. There's no doubt about it. A D1 recruit, of course, at the Ohio State University, is that he's going to have to play that kind of game today to stop the Kirtland Hornet offense.
Kirtland, let's see, they'll probably, this might be the last play of the first quarter. 2nd and 9 out of the triple stack at the 40-yard line. Powers, play fake, rolling right, looking, throwing, wants DeMarco. The pass is caught at the 10-yard line off a tip pass. It'll be caught at the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. I think that was Gage Salyers who deflected it and right into the arms of DeMarco. They'll put it at the 11. It'll be 1st and 10 from there.
DeMarco, the 5'11 junior, and that is strictly concentration. Why do you run the trip drills in practice, okay? Tip drills, I should say. And that's the reason why. Concentrate, stay with the football.
Timeout taken, I believe. Let's see, who took that timeout, guys? I didn't see. 24 seconds to go. It was Ironton who took the timeout. Good to see, by the way. I didn't get a chance to acknowledge him when I was here because of that completion. Jameer Howerton, stopping by.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Remember him from days covering the Cleveland Browns. He now works for the Pro Football Hall of Fame and really one of the great people that we've had a chance to get to know in the media business, and he takes good care of us here. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 11 after that DeMarco catch.
Do you feel, and if I'm Trevon Pendleton, right now what I'm telling my troops to say, listen, this is not magical. This is no mojo or anything like that. This is just what happens when you win state championships. Everything they're doing it as they practice. They're doing it to the letter of the book. Just keep doing what you're doing, tighten it up a little bit more, and bang, we're going to be fine, because right now you could demoralize even a great team like Ironton the way you're playing.
Liam Powers is 3 for 3 for 96 yards in this first quarter.
Wait, hold on a second. What did he throw for all year?
34 for 58 for 721 yards. 1st and 10. So again, Kirtland can get a first down without getting a touchdown. As Powers will give to Sullivan. Actually, Powers got it back, I think, and they lost the football. So on the handoff, but I think Liam was able to fall on it. It was on the read option, and I thought they were going to give it to Sullivan, and Powers pulled it back. And it's going to be a loss of 1 to the 12, and that's also going to be the last play of this opening quarter.
I'll tell you why he pulled it back. I saw 4 Ironton Fighting Tigers fill in between the guards that time.
Including number 28,
yes.
Mr. Kirtland.
I'm going to pull it back, too, if that's the
Yeah,
case.
I would as well. All right, 1 quarter in the books. Ooh. Let's give you the good news. Kirtland 7, Ironton nothing.
What's the bad news?
Philadelphia 76ers 77, Cleveland Cavaliers 36 at the half.
That disturbs me, especially with the man that has the IQ of a banana slug, Joel Embiid, playing against the Cavaliers. Dino, I've told you before, you know where I'm from, 53rd and Broadway?
Yes.
If need be, let me know next time he comes to town. I will fight him.
That's right. Suckers. All right, 1 quarter in the books. It will be a 2nd and 11 for the Hornets at the Ironton 12-yard line. If you're just joining us, hi. Welcome aboard here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. That's Mark Munch Bishop. I'm Dave DeNatale. Good to have everybody with us here in Canton at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Kirtland out to a 7-0 lead. They got there on their first possession as they went 74 yards in 2 plays, got a 47-yard pass from Liam Powers to Gage Sullivan to set up a 27-yard touchdown run from Mason Sullivan, and that's been our scoring, 7-0. Although Kirtland, the way they've kind of controlled the flow of this game, it feels like it's a bigger lead for them, but right now it's only 7-0, but it's very important for them. They're looking for a touchdown here to go up here by 14.
And, you know, one thing I want to point out is that Ironton started the game with the football. You heard me correctly. 3 and out because that score came at 10:19, which tells you what? That score came with 1 minute and 41 seconds elapsed in the football game.
Your tail of the tape to this point, Munch. Kirtland with 144 yards of total offense to 20 for Ironton.
Oh, my.
I mean, 6 first downs for the Hornets, 2 for the Tigers. I mean, that pretty much tells you time of possession 9:17 for Kirtland, 5:43 for Ironton. But I mean, this is about, I think, what Tiger Laverty wanted here. I mean, he's controlled the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense. You know, the big players have made big plays. Sullivan, Lonkar, both Sullivans, to be honest. I mean, Gage Sullivan's had 2 tremendous catches. DeMarco, I mean, the guys that needed to have big games tonight have done so here to this point.
And something else, by keeping on to the football, I know they're young men, and I know that they're well-trained and they're well-conditioned. But you know what? You've got 5 starters going both ways from Ironton. You're on the field the entire time.
2 wings for the Hornets. Gage Sullivan goes out wide left. 2nd and 11 from the 12. Pitch. Mason Sullivan inside the 10, still on his feet, and goes to about the 7-yard line. So gets about 5 on that pickup. Linebacker Dalton Crabtree on the tackle for the Ironton Fighting Tigers. So it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it about 6.
Luke Gardner, nice block, too. The other running back, 5'8", 180-pound senior. He stood somebody up and just kind of turned him. It's the old seal block.
And Luke is not 100%. He's been playing with a bad ankle, but he's been out there gutting it out. Now again, it'll be that double tight look. Sullivan, the lone man in the backfield. Mason Russ in motion left to right, and Liam Powers didn't like what he saw and asked for and got a timeout. The play clock was about to expire. So
that's heady for junior quarterback?
Yes.
Saying, hey, we got to score. We got to get points on the board when we're down here. Hopefully a touchdown. We've got timeouts. They don't roll over. Let's use it.
Well, this is the prime example of how it's a family affair here at Kirtland. Last year, I mean, it was Tommy Powers was the quarterback. It's now Liam Powers this year. You've got the Sullivans. And, you know, again, we mentioned that the Matt Gould article on Cleveland.com about the Church of Iron. The Sullivan's father is the one who, he's assistant coach, but he runs that weight room.
Hold on a
second. Gets all the players
Are
there.
these the old Fighting Sullivans from Lake Catholic?
You know what? I don't know. That's
because it's the same neck of the woods.
Wouldn't surprise me. And then you have the Toroks. I mean, you've had like 5 Toroks that have played for Kirtland. Joey, who just graduated last year, who was unbelievable, and now Jamie starting on the defense for the Hornets. I mean, so when we talk about it's a family affair, I mean, Tiger Laverty's got his son playing for this Hornet team.
Dino, I will never forget Rose Bowl, Earl Bruce's first year, going up against the likes of Brad Buddy, Anthony Munoz, Matthews, Tim Sullivan, one of the Fighting Sullivan brothers, nose tackle at 210.
Oh, wow. They'll go to Mason Sullivan running left on third down inside the 5. He stretches down to the 4, but he's going to be short of the first down. He needed to get to the 1. So it's going to be 4th and 3, and I would imagine...
They won't take points off the board.
I would imagine we're going to see Mario Roden come in to kick here. Mario this year is 4 out of 8 for field goals, 44 out of 45 for extra points.
Just basically an extra point. The ball's on the 4-yard line.
Yeah. And
hence the decision by Tiger.
Yeah, you've got a kicker that you feel comfortable with. You don't take points off the board in the state championship. So it's a 21-yard field goal. Joey Grazia will be the holder to make it a 2-possession lead here early on for the Hornets. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and Mario has booted it through.
Right down I-77.
10:24 to play in the first half. And Kirtland now leads it 10-0 over Ironton. A nice sustained drive by the Hornets there. And remember, that drive started at one point. It started at the 18, but at one point, because of the quarterback sack, Kirtland was backed up inside the 10, and they got the 20-yard throw on 3rd and 19 from Powers to Gage Sullivan.
Just brilliant.
That really kind of kept that drive, or really energized that drive, and they were able to drive down and get points on the board.
We saw it on the tip pass at the, that led to the drive continuing.
Yeah, the DeMarco, that was another big play.
Yeah, and then you see Gage Sullivan, again, concentration seems to be the middle name. It's the Kirtland Concentration Tigers. Everything they do textbook.
And, everybody has this perception of Kirtland. They're a conservative running team. They run out of the triple stack, this and that and the other thing. The reason why they're up 10-0, as we just said, largely is because Liam Powers is 3 for 3 throwing the football, and his passing has set up all these points in many cases.
Dino, I know it keeps us around longer, but I just as soon talk to Tiger Laverty. Although after the game, we have a lot of football yet to be played.
Yes. As Mario Roden will kick it off and back deep to receive. You've got to the left, to our left, Reed Carrico. To the right, Kyle Howell. And it's going to be Carrico with an opportunity at the 10. At the 25 to the 30-yard line. Make that Howell. And again, they're kicking it away from Howell. And he'll take it out to the 30-yard line. Or kicking it away from Carrico, I should say. And it's 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Fighting Tigers.
Well, it's challenged now for the Ironton offensive line. Davison Davis, White, Boggs, and Cecil, because they need to clear some holes. They need to give Salyer some time. Kirtland has been all over the Ironton offense any which way but loose. Whether they're running, whether they're passing, there's pressure. They rush 2 against 7, and they're getting to the quarterback.
They'll start in that wishbone look, 1st and 10 with 3 backs in the backfield. They'll give it to the third man, running to the right to the 32-yard line before Louis Lonkar can draw him down, is Seth Fossen.
I'm a little disappointed. You haven't mentioned Scrap Iron's number that much.
I know, only about 5 times already.
Love the way Louis plays football.
Mike Alfieri will also get credited for the tackle. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. And again, same look at Gage Salyers. 2nd and 8. This time Carrico will get an 8. This time Carrico will get it, and he gets 3 white jerseys, including Louis Lonkar, right when he got the handoff. He falls forward with his strength to the 33 for a yard pickup. But that's really about it. That's being generous.
First man to get him, Mason Sullivan's a DB, right?
Yes.
He came in so quick. You know what they're doing, Dino? I got to show they're getting him from behind.
Yep.
And they're helping him slow him down and pulling him back.
So you had Mason Sullivan get in there, Carson Andonian was in there, and then Louis Lonkar. It's a team effort, and we talked about that with Carrico. You're going to have to require a lot of guys to bring him down. 3rd and 7. Back to throw Salyers with time. Over the middle. Man, wide open. 1st down at the 50-yard line. With that catch is Howell. He's got it. And Kyle Howell will be put down at the 49-yard line by Anthony DeMarco. But that's a 1st down on a fine pass from Gage Salyers. And to Kyle Howell. And I think that was for Salyers. That's his 2nd completion of the game.
5'10", junior. 170 pounds. How? It was just perfect. Just a slant, right in his hands, grabbed it, tucked it, and went from there. Huge first down. Ironton needed that in a big, big way with 8:30 left in the half.
Ball now at the Hornet 49, 1st and 10, and back they go to the wishbone. And you've got Junior Jones is the fullback in that set. They fake handoff, back to throw Salyers. Moves left, throws left, looks for Carrico downfield, and a flag is going to go down for an interference at the 15-yard line.
A defensive hold, yeah.
As I think they're going to say Joey Grazia was face guarding Carrico at about the 15-yard line. So this will be, it's our first penalty of the game, and it's going to go against the Hornets.
Joey threw his hands back, looked like he locked up with them a little bit, impeded him as he was trying to get downfield against the football.
Get the official word here. So 15-yard penalty, and the drive will continue here for Ironton. It'll go inside the 35 down to the Kirtland 34-yard line. 8:21 to go first half. 10-0 Hornets on top, but for the first time tonight, Ironton really on the move offensively.
You know, interesting, too, because I've said it many occasions, college, high school, one of the best penalties there is.
Grizzle to the left, Hacker to the right. Out of the I formation, they'll do an option pitch as they'll go to Carrico inside the 30 and down to the 25-yard line. Very close to another Ironton first down. Longcar and DeMarco over on the tackle.
And he punishes people. He beamed Mr. Reed Carrico when he lowers his shoulder to go into him at 6'3", 225 pounds.
And you like the strategy, Munch. I mean, they try to figure out any way and every way to get him the football. Mm-hmm. He'll be the deep man in the eye behind fullback Cameron Deere, 2 wide receivers, second and about a half yard, and Tiger Laverty wants a timeout. That'll be Kirtland's second timeout of this first half.
Great timeout. Whether or not he saw something he didn't like, you know what else it does? It slows down the Ironton offense, which right now is an 18-wheeler going downhill without brakes.
So, relaxes everybody. It's you know, it's one of those plays. It's second and short, so you sit there and you go, "This is always one of those plays when you have, you know, second and short. You know, you might try to throw it in the end zone. Make sure your personnel is ready and able here to make a stop." So Kirtland will have 1 timeout remaining in this first half.
We have seen before on second and short, if you don't have a valid running game, then you don't have to respect it, okay?
Right.
But when you have Carrico, you have to respect him getting a handoff. You also have to respect Salyers looking downfield.
Well, you sit there and you think, okay, it's a perfect time for maybe a play action pass, and then you look for either Grizzle or Hacker. But it's amazing what Trevin Pendleton has done with this offense. You know, we've literally seen 3 or 4 different kinds of formations. You know, from, again, the wishbone with the fullback and the 2 halfbacks just like a half yard behind. We've seen the I formation. We've seen the pistol. Very, very, it's called strange, just very unusual to see an offense that can show you that many different looks in the same half of football. But that's what Ironton can do.
And you have to react to those looks, or at least be prepared for each scenario, which tells me that that's a lot on the young defense's mind.
Right. So I think that's one of the reasons why Tiger Laverty said, "Hey, let's talk about it here. Let's get the defense over and make sure we're all on the same page." It'll be second down and really less than a yard, about a half yard, to be honest, from the left hash just inside the 25-yard line of the Hornets. Kirtland leads at 10-0 in this Division V state championship game, the last of 7 state title games this weekend here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton.
Do you know how cool is it, too, to have an Ironton in here? Our forgotten neighbors of the South, Marietta, Ironton, Portsmouth.
Portsmouth, yeah. It feels right. It does. And again, love those uniforms, man. Those are nice. Jones is the fullback, Carrico the tailback, again with 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. Second and short, Carrico will get the carry. He'll get the first down as he'll plow ahead to the 21-yard line. Mason Sullivan came up with Carson Andoni and had to make the tackle. We chuckle there because I think it was Mason, when he came up, he almost did a somersault after making that tackle.
And Andoni looked like he ran into a brick wall. Granted, he ran into it.
Yes. Again, it'll be Hacker to the right and Jordan Grizzle to the left. Deere back in at the fullback in front of Carrico. 1st and 10, Ironton at the Kirtland 21. From the left hash, it's Carrico again, inside the 20. Oh, he got upended at the 19-yard line. Otherwise, he may have busted it all the way. Jamie Torok from his defensive end spot, and I emphasize the Torok on that tackle. 2nd down and 8.
As good as you can get. Got him around the ankles enough to knock him off balance. But I'll tell you this, they're shooting deer into that hole as a fullback. He's taking on, because as a fullback, guess what? 185 pounds, he's as big as most of the defenders.
2nd down, and they gave Carrico 2 there, so it's 2nd and 8. Here's Salyers to throw. Kirtland chasing him. Salyers in all kinds of trouble. Alfieri almost had him, and finally they do sack him down at the 31-yard line, and I think that was Alfieri who got back up and made that sack.
And let me tell you this, Mike Russ made that happen. Dino, this is when I know that this is a heart as big as the state of Ohio. Russ was doing the bear crawl on him, trying to get to him. That's a grizzly bear I don't want coming after me.
Yeah, you had Mike Russ and Mike Alfieri combining to put the pressure on, and a good job by Alfieri to get his 3rd sack of the year. That backs it up to the 31 and makes it 3rd and 20 for the Tigers.
You know, I don't want to be too technical, but by bear crawl, he was on the ground.
He was.
Crawling along. That means you can't be stopped.
Yep, you're not going to give up. Here's Salyers being blitzed, in trouble. He'll run it ahead to the 30 and down to about the 28, maybe the 27-yard line. Kirtland shot a man through Mason Russ and got some good pressure in there, but Salyers able to break through and get a couple of yards, but it's going to be 4th and long now, and we'll see how good Avery Book is here, because this is going to be about a 44-yard attempt.
I'll tell you something that happened that team, too. Both receivers were covered. Hacker was covered. I didn't see who the other receiver down the field was, but they were blanketing. What the best part was? One-on-one. They took him one-on-one and locked him down.
Kyle Howell will put it down at the 35, so it'll be a 45-yard attempt for Avery Book. Good snap and hold. The kick on a line drive is not going to get there. Short, no good. Kirtland will take over.
Amazing stand. 5:09 left in the half. Hornets 10, Ironton nothing. Just when Ironton, and Dino, I'm going to give credit where credit's due, okay? Target Laverty called the timeout and put that means that the ball ran in front of the car. They turned in and slammed their brakes on and stopped. They lost a little bit of mo when that timeout was called.
And what happened on that play, 2nd and short or whatever, they got the 1st down, but you're right, the momentum stopped, and then Alfieri, because Mike Russ had that initial pressure and refused to give up, Mike Alfieri gets the sack and completely changed that drive.
Now, we know that Kirtland has their game plan, but, to me, this is as good as a turnover, okay?
Yeah.
Missed field goal, I try to strike and strike quickly.
Hornets with 5:09 to go before halftime, already leading at 10-0. They'll take over at the 20. Liam Powers will give it to Mason Sullivan. Sullivan will cross the 25 and take it out near the 26-yard line, as he was brought down by Gage Salyers and Reed Carrico, but gain of 6 and a 1st down. Sullivan already, let's see, I believe it's 9 carries now for him and 63 yards.
Malvicino and Atkins just pushed their guys to the side. Right tackle Logan Snowdell that time blew his man out, and bang, there's Sullivan's hole.
As we mentioned, Luke Gardner's been banged up here with a bad ankle, so Sullivan's gotten the lion's share of the work, and so far averaging 7 yards a carry. 2nd down and 4. Back to Sullivan. Same play. Tried to run back left, and he's going to be brought down back at the 25. And I think the ball came loose as Sullivan was going down. And I think Kirtland pounced back on it, although Ironton is saying they have it. But I think the officials don't see it that way. It'll be a loss of 1. Sullivan, as I said, Munch, it was the same play. He was trying to run it back to the right.
Carrico made a great tackle in there to get in there, too.
And Seth Fossen really was the person who kind of forced that play and forced Sullivan to try to run back left. And
who do you run back towards? Carrico.
Yeah. That's a good. That's a good strategy. If you can,
heck yes.
If your end can lead you to your best player, your linebacker, that's not bad. 3rd and 5 after that 1-yard loss. Gage Sullivan will go out wide left. Kirtland will have 2 wings to each side. And Mason Sullivan, the lone man in the backfield. Powers, quick throw as he goes low to Sullivan, and it's incomplete. They'll say it was a one-hopper at the 29-yard line. And something that's relatively unusual for Kirtland, they're going to have to punt the football.
Interesting on that play. Again, I'm not a fan of that long handoff they called. You've got to beat one man, but guess what? There were 3 Tigers there waiting for it.
So Mike Alfieri, gotta love when guys on the offensive line are also kickers or punters. And Alfieri's had a good year punting the football, averaging 36 yards per kick. Kyle Howell in single safety at the 35 for the Tigers now with 3:30 to go in this first half. 10-0 Kirtland as Alfieri's punt end over end is short. And a running catch by Howell drops the football. And Gage Salyers was there to pounce on it at the 43-yard line. And after he did, a late flag, and I wonder if there was a little trash talking after that.
Either that or he got hit. One of the Kirtland players dove in. I believe he wasn't diving to spear Salyers. He was driving to get to the football.
Yeah, I think you're right, Munch. Now that you say that, I think you're right. And
that was Danny Davidson.
The preliminary, let's see, dead ball, personal foul against the Hornets.
Yeah, they're going to call it on Danny Davidson.
Yep.
He was diving for the football. Apparently the official didn't see it that way. I'm going to say this too. The way the punt was, Alfieri's, it was kind of, it's not a high punt to get underneath. It's the kind that tempts you to catch it that's hard to catch.
Just trying to see here, looking up here at
We've
our
got
monitor.
a monitor saying we're not, St. Peter's not jiggling his keys for us.
Yeah, no, just trying to see if they'll show us a replay here, but I guess not. That's a tough call because that ball was loose. Gage Salyers, give him credit. He doesn't take a play off. He and Carrico don't take plays off. And it was Salyers who pounced on that fumble. And Ironton now, with that penalty, has it at the Kirtland 42-yard line. Salyers on a little jet sweep. They'll run left side. It's Grizzle, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage back at about the 45-yard line by Tommy Jerzetic.
What a great play for Jerzetic. You know why? He stayed home. He didn't let anything fool him. He saw the man in motion, so I'm going to keep an eye on this guy to see if they give him the football.
It's a loss of about 2 on the play as they'll mark it back to the 44 and make it second and a long 12. As Ironton will have Trent Hacker to the left, Jordan Grizzle to the right, I formation in the backfield. And they will go to Deere on this carry, and Deere will put his head down to the 41 and get back the yardage that was lost.
Maybe one more.
Jamie Torok on the tackle.
James Torok makes the stop.
Not Torok, Torok.
Torok, T-O-R-O-K.
That's there's a long story about that if we have time in the second half. But Jamie's dad is really one of the great people, one of the great, so many great parents and families as part of the Kirtland Hornets. And, got to, as we followed them last year in the postseason, you get to know them a little bit. And
Torque, not Torque. That was a monkey, right?
That's right. That's right. As this time it'll be an option pitch, and running his Carrico to the right to the 35, got tripped up as he took it near the first down marker. They'll move him about a yard short to the 33-yard line, but a well-conceived option pitch. Yeah, they can do that too out of this offense.
They had a wide side of a field in which to try to get some motion there. Was that Grazia who came up with the tackle?
I believe so.
Again, another saver.
Yeah. It was 3rd and 8. So they got, be a 4th and 1 now. So
I'd
7
load
on
up
that
the backfield, wouldn't you, either with the wishbone look or the triple I?
Yeah. But instead they're going to go to the I. Jones will be the fullback. Carrico the tailback. We're under 2 minutes to go. A 10-0 Kirtland lead, 4th and 1. The give is to Carrico, and if he can get to the outside, he'll get the first down. He won't get there. Won't get there.
He does not get it.
Is coming up to make the tackle, shooting through again from his linebacker spot, Mason Russ.
And Louis Lockhart was there to finish him off again.
It's a great job by that linebacking core for the Kirtland Hornets. Longcar and Russ did not let Carrico get to the outside. There'll be a stoppage of clock for the change of possession, and Kirtland will have 1:53 to go before halftime with one timeout, and they lead 7-0 at their own 32.
Fred, I wish you could have seen that. This is nothing against Carrico because he kept fighting. He kept trying to just stretch it out and turn it in, and everywhere he looked, there was a Kirtland Hornet waiting for him.
Yeah, I thought if he could have busted the initial tackle, he had a shot to get to the outside, but never got there. From the triple stack, with Russ as the fullback, Powers will give to DeMarco, and DeMarco is going to be submarined at the 31-yard line for a yard loss as Dalton Crabtree made that tackle. And again now, with the clock moving here, Kirtland leads at 10-0, but not showing a ton of urgency here, knowing the way they play. They've got a 10-point lead, and as Munch has mentioned,
they get the ball to start
they
the
get the
second
ball
half.
first
Yes.
to start the second half. So, it's very patient here.
Dino, just shout out to some of the luminaries in the crowd today. And honest to golly, big fan of the broadcast of WKYC. He's done his Mel the Meat Cutter from the Giant Eagle out there in Charlotte.
Oh, love Mel the Meat Cutter.
Do you remember Mel?
I remember Mel from our K&R days.
Yes,
DeMarco is brought down by Carrico running to his right at the 31-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, it's going to be a loss of a yard. It will be 3rd and 11 with 1:04 to go. And do we have a timeout here?
One thing, too, yes, there is.
Yes.
Is that one thing I want to point out. With a 10-0 game, and all of a sudden now, with two great defenses going at it, a score could make the difference in this game. One more score. And I'm saying, I know we have a half to go, but one more score by Kirtland or early in the second half score by Ironton could change things around. This could very well be defense from here on out.
Well, and I think that's why, as Trevin Pendleton was thinking about it, it's like, look, I'm going to take a timeout here. They've got a 3rd and long. By the way, Ironton has one more timeout to go. And if they can get a good stop here, they'll take another timeout and give their offense one more shot here.
And the thing is, when you're taking shots, the other team will usually know that too. You got to be careful not to throw a pick six or to cough the ball up.
Yeah, Ironton's defense, after those two Kirtland scorers earlier in this game, kind of ratcheted things up here. Kirtland got the field goal, but Hornets went 3 and out on their last possession and are in danger of doing it again here.
Something I've noticed, Dalton Crabtree, the outside linebacker, seems to be playing more with his hands.
You're right.
Almost like a four-man front.
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd and about 11. Liam Powers in all kinds of trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 23-yard line, Seth Fossen there to make the play.
Did he lose a handle on the ball?
I think he did, and it completely disrupted the timing of the play, and he ended up having to eat the football. Seth Fossen, again, makes that stop. Ironton will take their final timeout with 58 seconds to go before halftime.
It's interesting. Fossen, one of the one-way players. He seems to be making a lot of plays lately.
From Indianapolis, end of one quarter still. Wisconsin 7, Ohio State nothing.
I'm fine with that.
It's a long way to go.
Wisconsin, odds are they don't score more than 10 points in a game.
I remember thinking, that was an emotional win last week in Ann Arbor. If you're Ohio State, the one thing you don't want to do, though, is, win or lose, they'll be one of the 4 teams to make it to the college football playoff. But you never want to leave that in the hands of judges. You want to control your own destiny. So Buckeyes, long way to go, though. They're down 7-0 to the Badgers. Here in this one, 10-0 Kirtland, as they'll have to punt the football here with 53 seconds to go.
One thing I'm thinking, with games like last week, I just wonder if, you buy stock and Band-Aids for all the knuckle draggers in Ann Arbor, needing more Band-Aids on their knuckles.
58 seconds, by the way.
That was me, not Dino, okay?
The comments of Mark Munch Bishop do not represent. No, I'm kidding.
Denise Wolverine sitting at home going, oh my God, I let him do another game.
Alfieri to kick it away.
Now that's a
much
baller.
Better punt. And it'll be a fair catch by Howell at his own 38, and he'll make it with now 52 seconds to go.
Should you go to attack mode with 52?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, you're risking, as you said earlier.
Just
you're
make sure the pass is long if you're throwing deep.
But with the weapons that they have here, and knowing the fact that Kirtland's going to have the ball to start the second half and could go on a long, sustained drive, if you can get any points here, that's advantageous. And, Ironton has gotten the ball here in the second quarter in Kirtland territory a number of times, but Kirtland's defense continually has shut the door. 3 wide receivers now for the Tigers. Here's Salyers to throw in first down. All kinds of time. Deep over the middle, looking for his tight end, and he overshot Ashton Duncan at the 40-yard line of the Hornets.
Wagner looked real good because I saw Ashton Duncan was the last man to come out on the field because Pendleton was saying something to him. Bottom line is, he's like, hey, change the play. Just want you to run, and bang, they went right to him.
2nd and 10 here for the Tigers with 47 seconds to go.
Moving men in and out. Do you know, it always got me. Remember you used to have the messenger guards?
Oh, sure.
But you want the 5 guys on the line to be the same all the time.
Yeah.
The cohesiveness. And Vince Lombardi used messenger guards.
Now Carrico is going to move out here as a receiver. So essentially now they've got 4 wide receivers. Second down, back to throw Salyers, all kinds of time. Looking, firing, deep right side. He's got a man open. It is caught inside the 5-yard line. Grizzle's got it at the 3-yard line. It'll be first and goal with 37 seconds to go.
Grizzle got behind double coverage. There was a CB, a DB, closing quickly on it. But, boy, just a beautiful pass and a beautiful catch. You run Carrico 4 times in here.
And they're going to spike it here as the clock actually, I don't even think started when they got the snap and then spiked it. It'll be second down and goal.
One timeout. Well,
Wait,
time.
Did they get a timeout in there before, or did Kirtland get a timeout? Kirtland must have taken that last timeout
because the clock would have started.
Yes, so it's going to actually be where the yard marker. It's first and goal. Mm-hmm. So that play didn't. That spike down didn't count. So that's advantage.
You have a
for
timeout.
Ironton.
I mean, I give Carrico the ball. If he doesn't get in, I call my timeout.
You do not actually, according to the scoreboard. You do not. Neither because they had to take their last timeout during that punt.
Okay.
So I think it's important. Now, you might ask if you're, for Kirtland, you're saying, well, why would you use your last timeout and help out the offense? Well, for that same reason. You got to make sure your defense knows, hey, look, they can't stop the clock. If they run the football or whatever, they can't stop it. So be cognizant, be smart out there. Keep them inbounds, keep them between the tackles.
And you stop Carrico the first time, they might not be ready to roll in the second time.
Right, now all of a sudden, that changes their approach.
And after I tackle you, it's going to take me an extra half second to get up off the ground.
They look like Ironton's going to go back here to the wishbone with Fossen, Deere, and Carrico in the backfield behind Salyers. First and goal at the 2. Salyers gives Carrico to the right, and on a second effort, did he get in? No, he didn't. Nope. 28, 27, 26 seconds. It's second goal from the 1.
Ran behind 265-pound Riley Boggs and 275-pound Ryan Cecil.
Clock at 18.
Both sophomores.
17, 16 seconds. Second and goal. We've got a flag down. Somebody may have moved too early.
Left side of the Ironton line, if you're asking me.
I thought so. You thought so. Officials say no, that's offsides against the Hornets.
Well, again, they are right there in the trenches. A little bit better angle on us, although we've got a rating. Oh, by the way, shout out to the Pro Football Hall of Fame Museum for the digs they've afforded us here this evening.
Love this booth. Oh, unbelievable. Now, the penalty, the advantage is it stops the clock here, and it really gives now Trevin Pendleton an opportunity to get a play call in here, and he's gonna talk to Salyers, and then they can run the play here from the 1. 13 seconds to go. It's second and goal.
Unbelievable play.
Yeah, your margin for error here is so short, though, because if you try something funny and you get brought down in the field of play, you're going to have a real hard time
this could be it.
Getting something here, getting a stoppage so you can kick a field goal.
But it doesn't get much better than this. Division V football, OHSAA action, Tom Benson Stadium. We've got you on WKYC.com. And early on, this has not been for the faint of heart, has it?
No, this has been 2 very good teams going at it. 10-0 Kirtland, but Ironton threatening to get on the board here before halftime. Again, out of the wishbone. Under center, Salyers. He will keep it. He's going to need a push to get in. I don't think he got it. I don't think he got it.
He did not get it.
And the clock now at 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They're not going to get a playoff. That's going to do it for the first half. Carter's defense with the stand. Tiger Laverty sprinting off the field with his defense.
With his fists in the air, and the rest of the Kirtland Hornets right there. End the first half. You have first and goal from the 1-yard line. It moves to the half-yard line on a penalty, and they don't get in with 2 plays.
What a missed opportunity for the Fighting Tigers. As they in the first half of missed opportunities. Now, wait a second here. The officials are sprinting to try to catch Kirtland. There's no time on the clock. I didn't see a flag down, but all of a sudden, they're telling the Hornets, come back out on the field.
Well,
Let's see.
And the ball is still spotted.
And this play is being reviewed.
Okay, they're going to review. Okay, now, this might be the first time they've had to do this the entire weekend, but something the OHSAA put forth now.
Tell me about this.
In the state championships, you can review. You can use replay review for touchdowns. Very, very simple things. It's not like the NFL and the pass interference rule. And so it's a booth review.
Because none of the officials have any kind of monitors to look at in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, I got to tell you, you're going to need some awfully conclusive evidence to overturn this. And
he was stoned. He did not get in.
From what we saw, I mean, his initial surge was completely shut down. Alfieri and Adkins, amongst others, were there to just basically put up the stone wall. Now, they're not putting up the replay for us to watch in here, so we unfortunately won't be seeing what the official reviewers are seeing. But as I said, this is going to need to be something incredibly conclusive for them to overturn this, and I can't imagine they're going to do that. But we've seen stranger things happen this year.
Well, one of the officials straddles the football at the half-yard line. So but here's the thing. If he didn't get in, he didn't get in. If he did, it's a touchdown.
Right.
Why would they even have the ball still spotted at the half-yard line? You can't run another play.
Correct.
You know what? Like I said, one of the officials, the astute Scott Scrivens, dear friend of yours truly. By the way, father-in-law of Mr. Brian Hoyer.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, Scott, a retired attorney. Think he'd answer his cell phone at halftime if I asked him what happened down there?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to try.
I'm going to try. Why not?
Hey, this is KYC.com. That's what you expect from us.
Right. I mean, at halftime, we're
The runner was short of the goal.
Yes. So you just heard the official say he was short of the goal. And so the Hornets are going to get more exercise and sprint off the field again.
Hey, they don't mind if they call them back again.
Yes. But Kirtland's defense in the first half, magnificent in short yardage situations and magnificent in terms of the bend but don't break. I mean, that was three straight possessions, Munch, that Ironton got the ball in Kirtland territory.
And they got the big pass play.
You missed the field goal initially, and then on that last play, you get the pass play to Jordan Grizzle, and it looks like they're all set to score. And as you point out, they even get the added benefit of a Kirtland offsides penalty. So the clock is stopped with 13 seconds to go at the 1 yard line. It's second and goal. All you got to do is punch that 1 yard in, and they used their 6-foot quarterback to try to do so. But the Kirtland defensive line and the wall of that defense did not let them score.
It was just amazing. The stand they had, and we talked about outweighed man for man, but not in the Church of Iron and not in the heart.
All right. Well, as we are set to go to halftime, the news is not good from Indianapolis. Wisconsin now leading Ohio State 14-0 in the second quarter in the Big Ten championship game. Long way to go.
Now 14-0. Okay, I'm still not going to go,
Okay.
But still, it is shocking. Wisconsin's doing something right, yeah.
Well, especially the fact that the Buckeyes' offense hasn't scored. Dobbins.
Fields and Dobbins. Oh,
that's very surprising to me. But, to this point, Jim Leonard's defense is doing the job for the Badgers. So we'll keep updated on that one. For now, we'll let you enjoy the Kirtland Band and the Ironton Band here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Munch and I are back in a few minutes. We'll have the first half numbers, and we'll get you ready for the second half. Kirtland shutting out Ironton here at the half, 10-0 on our WKYC.com Game of the Week, the Division V State Championship.
Emerson, little guys would say, he was in the Battle of the championship game. He was in this dude up there. I guess he wasn't. He didn't move it.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Tom Dingeldine, assisted by Jonathan Gordon, with flag and major advisors Megan Nelson and Carol March, along with field commanders Alfonso Strong and Julie Nancy. We proudly present the pride of Kirtland, the 2019 Kirtland Hornet Marching Band. Our show this evening features songs from Pitbull. We'll be starting with a song featuring Kesha, so watch and listen as the Hornet Marching Band performs Timber. We continue with another Pitbull hit, this one with Christina Aguilera, as we feature our flags and majorettes. Enjoy the music while we bring you Feel This Moment. Our final selection this evening is an explosive event. This song is so fiery, our drums might ignite while playing it. Get ready for the inferno that is Fireball. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the pride of Southern Ohio, your Ironton High School $1 Million Marching Band.
Oh, yes. Showtime. I love it.
The band is led on the field by drum majors Briley Vaughn, Aiden Brown, Macy Perry, and Bryn Taylor. Our drum captains are Zach Kaiser, Edward Shaner, and Mark Ball. Our guard captains are Kylie Polly and Brittany Hammond.
Oh, dude, that was brilliant.
The band will begin tonight's performance with a Billboard Hot 100 hit from British rock band Queen. This is our rendition of Fat Bottom Girl. We continue tonight with Queen's best known and most complex song, written by Freddie Mercury in 1975. The song was originally believed to be intricate for public appreciation. Featuring trumpet soloist Bailey Clark and Lindsay Zimmerman, this is Bohemian Rhapsody.
But if I could, if I could get a college announcement gig, I would just go.
The band concludes tonight with a song continue to demonstrate the writing capabilities of Freddie Mercury in the many performances and genres of Queen. This is Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Ironton High School $1 Million Marching Band.
As we start to kind of get things situated here and ready to go for the second half, we welcome you back to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium inside the broadcast booth, booth 13 here at Tom Benson
Our
Stadium.
lucky number, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Dave DeNatale, Mark Munch Bishop with you. It's a 10-0 Kirtland lead over Ironton in the Division V state championship game. And Munch, I mean, Kirtland kind of came out, and we always use boxing analogies for these types of things, but Kirtland came out with a couple of haymakers and got that early lead.
A 74-yard pass to start the game.
A 74-yard drive, 47-yard pass and a 27-yard touchdown run. And Ironton, to their credit, defensively ratcheted things up in the second quarter, but Kirtland's defense has been the epitome of bend but don't break, literally bending all the way to the 1 yard line before halftime, but never breaking, and they've pitched a shutout here to this point.
What's interesting, too, is that, and again, this will be on Trevon Pendleton, to get his troops to make sure that they are not getting down. They've done everything possible, all right, against the Kirtland defense, except put the ball in the end zone or put it through the uprights, as Freddie Kitchen says, kick it between those yellow poles, okay?
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, that's what Taylor Laverde wants. Said, hey, we've taken their best shots. Maybe we staggered a couple times, but we fought right back.
First half numbers shaped out like this. Kirtland really dominated the first quarter numbers. I mean, just to illustrate, at the end of one quarter, as far as total yards, it was Kirtland had 144 and Ironton had 20. At the half, as far as total yards goes, Kirtland 150 and Ironton 118. So Kirtland only had 10 yards of total offense in the second quarter.
Oh, you mentioned the second quarter belonged to the Fighting Tigers.
As far as individual numbers, Liam Powers is throwing the ball 3 for 4 for 96 yards. He really has been the big X factor in this, so to speak. He has set up a couple of those scores with his passing. Mason Sullivan has carried the ball 10 times for 62 yards and a touchdown, including that 27-yard touchdown. Gage Sullivan has 2 catches for 67 yards, both of which set up scores. DeMarco also has a key 29-yard reception in this game. For Ironton, Gage Salyers 3 for 6 passing, 87 yards, but most of that came right before halftime. He hit Jordan Grizzle on a 60-yard pass to set up what was a first and goal at the 2-yard line, but Ironton wasn't able to score and had no timeouts and ended up just watching the clock roll down before halftime, despite the fact that we had a replay review. Reed Carrico has been held in check to this point. 10 carries for 34 yards. His longest run of the night is 9 yards. He came into tonight's game with 1,545 yards rushing and 25 touchdowns, but Kirtland's done a good job on him. Grizzle with that 60-yard catch is the leader. As far as receiving goes, defensively, Kirtland has Louis Loncar with 4 tackles. Mike Russ and Mike Alfieri both have sacks in the ball game, and the leading tackler for Ironton, Reed Carrico, has 4 tackles, and both Cameron Deere and Seth Fawson have sacks.
Well, you would hope that Carrico, so does Ryan Day. We hope that Carrico is their leader in tackles.
Ryan Day would like to have Carrico right now because it's still 14-0 Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship.
Can he help Justin Fields' knee, though? That's what I'm worried about.
That's a good point. I think the knee is a lot worse than what a lot of people thought after the Michigan game. Kirtland, remember, won the toss and deferred, and then pitched a 3-and-out to start the game on defense, and got the touchdown. So they've got the strategic advantage, and they'll get the football to start the second half.
They did what they needed to do, stop the Fighting Tigers. Now they'll have a chance to. Dino, again, a touchdown here for what we've been seeing, and we've only covered games for a day or two.
Yeah, just a little short time.
If they can go down and score a touchdown here, that would pretty much be the end of the game, I'm telling you.
It would be, especially if it's a Kirtland time-consuming type drive. Yeah, that would be huge. Let's see, I think it's going to be, Gardner's going to give way. I think it's DeMarco on the catch it's Drzetic actually to the 35, and Drzetic will take it out to the 39-yard line. It's a fine return by Tommy Drzetic, who is in front of Luke Gardner, and it was a short kick, and Drzetic, usually you let the guy behind you go get it, but Drzetic, no fear. He's a tight end. He's got good hands, and he had a fine return there out to the 39.
Jordan Grizzle with the tackle, doing everything, catching footballs, making tackles. You know what happened? Some of the pursuit men for Ironton were already past him.
Wow.
When he caught the football, like he said, thinking it was going to go to the back man.
Yeah. So Kirtland ready to go now. 1st and 10. They start off trips.
Look at this.
I haven't seen that all game. Here's a pitch out to the right, out to the 40, 45. It's Gage Sullivan to the 50. Oh, he stumbles at the 45. Otherwise, he was off to the races. Stumbled on that field turf down to the Ironton 42, but Gage with a tremendous run on 1st down.
I'd like to go down there, and hopefully we'll go down and get to talk to Tiger Verde after, because we saw Carrico stumble before, too. Another player stumbled. Nobody near them tackling them. Something's going on with that field, my friend, because the 3 receivers that time act as blockers to that wide side on the toss pitch.
That's the 8th carry of the year for Gage Sullivan. That one was a 19-yarder. Another pitch out. This one to the left side. Out to the 40, to the 35, to the 32-yard line. I want to say that was Luke Gardner, but we'll double-check here as they uncover the pile. That was Luke, and that's his best run of the game. Now to the 32. He gets about 6.
Let me tell you something, is that right now, Coach,
check that 9-yard game, Munch.
The defensive coaches for Ironton, I don't want to burn on timeout. Got to tell the guys to calm down a little bit. They're pursuing so intensely, they're going by their guys with the football. They're running past them.
Now, Kirtland will go now to 2 wings here and send one in motion, and the give is to Mason Sullivan, and Ironton wasn't fooled that time. Sullivan is brought down at about the 30-yard line. Gets about 2, but that's enough for the first down.
That's all he needed. And again, aggressiveness is what you need to do. If you are the Ironton Fighting Tigers defense, you must stop Kirtland. However, you can't be so hungry that you're running past the guy with the football, especially if there's some misdirection or just some trickery.
And again, we see the Hornets going trips right.
They ran right the last time using them as blockers.
Drzetic, Samsa, and I think the third guy, there's one more over there. Here's a pitch out. Mason Sullivan, he wants to throw. Looking towards the end zone. It's knocked away and incomplete. Was trying to get it to Tommy Drzetic, but he was being double-teamed as both Trent Hacker and Gage Salyers were on the coverage, and I think that was Hacker who knocked it away.
Hacker, the cornerback out there, one-on-one. Not a lot of separation. Salyers closed quickly, too. Another safety, Kyle Howell, came over there, so they were expecting something like that.
Yeah, they had Mason Russ. They had Drzetic and Zach Samsa all over to the right, including 2 tight ends there. Well, you know what? Why not? You take a crack with something like that and see what happens. Instead, it'll be 2nd and 10. Sullivan will go to the offset line. They'll pitch out. It's Gage Sullivan getting the carry. This time, he'll be brought down at the 29-yard line, not letting him squirt through. Gets about a yard or so, and that's really about it. It'll be 3rd down and long here for the Hornets.
Nice tackle that time, and again, Ironton realizes they cannot give up a touchdown here on this first drive of the second half.
A little more urgency. Carrico there made the tackle. We're under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Kirtland 10, Ironton nothing, and the Hornets in position again now, 3rd and 9 at the Ironton 29.
Ironton's going to send some people here. Just the way I'm looking about how they're aligned.
In the I formation, it'll be Mason Sullivan getting the carry. And a conservative play there for Tiger Laverty, but it sets you up now for a 4th and manageables. Sullivan will take it down to the 26-yard line. So he gets about 4 on that run, and it'll be 4th and 6.
Did shoot in and kept him from getting any more. Now you have to think, the 43-yard field goal, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, and I think they knew that going into that play, which makes sense. That's why they ran it the way they did. It will be trips right. Lone man in the backfield is Mason Sullivan, under center. Pitch out to Sullivan. Here's a reverse, and a reverse pass they go. Powers with the catch at the 20, down to the 19-yard line, and a first down.
Oh, my.
The reverse pass for Kirtland, Joey Grazia made the pass, and Grazia's pass was complete to the quarterback, Liam Powers, and a first down on 4th and 6. They got 7.
Powers took a shot, and to run a play like that, 2 handoffs on the play, just amazing.
Yes. And again, another fearless play by the Hornets. They have come into tonight's game, and, they have busted out the playbook here. On this drive alone, we've seen 2 players besides Liam Powers throw the football. This time Gardner gets the carry inside the 20. Ooh, he ran into Carrico, wrestled him down in like a 2-point takedown at the 17. Only about a gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and long.
You could tell Gardner being hampered a little bit. He just was a little slow on his cut. He makes that cut. He doesn't get abused that time by Carrico as he did.
Yeah, they'll say Luke only got 1 on the play, but it's 2nd down and 9. Kirtland doesn't care. Right now, they've already taken 4 minutes off the clock to start this drive. That's exactly what they wanted to do here. Is they'll make Gage Sullivan will check in, and Tommy Drzetic will check out. And Sullivan will go out wide left, 2nd and 9 at the Ironton 18-yard line. Here's Powers, quick drop, lofts one for Gage Sullivan, end zone. He's got it, touchdown! Gage Sullivan on a remarkable catch.
That was this was not a fade, friend. This was up in the air. You go up, young fella. You use your 6'4", and you bring it down. That's exactly what happened.
He has done it all game long, and Gage Sullivan with another tremendous catch. Kirtland now leads it 16-0. In double coverage, he was able to outleap Colin Freeman for the football, and Freeman is 6 foot. Yeah.
Howell was there too.
Yeah. Howell 5'10". Yeah. Howell 5'10". Freeman is 6 foot. Sullivan 6'4".
How far was that, Dino?
That touchdown pass was, what are we officially scoring that here? 18 yards.
And we've had a procedure call, so the extra point's going to go again, and it's going to be back a little bit further for Kirtland.
So march it back here. False start, I believe, was the call. 7:33 to play in the third quarter. That was an outstanding drive that started. It was going to be a 61-yard touchdown drive.
And
it started at the 39.
And I say this tongue-in-cheek, can't throw the football. Isn't it a dang shame?
Yeah, Liam Powers, we heard that coming in. It's like, they can't throw the football. Liam Powers is now 4 out of 5 for 114 yards and a touchdown. And, Gage Sullivan has been a load tonight catching the football. The extra point by Mario Roden.
25-yarder.
Yeah, back it up 5, it doesn't matter. It's good. 17-0, Kirtland. Exactly what Mark Munch Bishop said before that kickoff. If Kirtland could open up what is essentially now, a 3-possession game, it's going to be advantage Hornets here from this point forward. We saw Ironton. They can strike quickly, but you're asking a lot now against this Hornet defense.
You've got to think this too. If you're Tiger Laverde, the defensive coaches, is that do you drop those safeties back a little bit more to guard against that big play, because they've been integral at helping keep Carrico to workman-like numbers today.
That's going to be a big thing, because I would imagine you're going to see less Carrico as a running back here and more of him as a receiver.
Well, we know he can catch the football. There's no doubt.
So it's going to be interesting to see what the approach is going to be. There's plenty of time, though, but Kirtland now with a 17-point lead with 7:33 to go in the third quarter.
How about a 4-minute, 27-second drive to start the second half?
And, again, the Hornets with a trip set, and on 4th and 6, they do a reverse pass, a throwback to the quarterback. Again, you can't say enough about the game plan tonight from Coach Laverde and his staff.
And the kick goes right to Howell.
Right away from Carrico. Howell at the 20. Howell to the 25. Breaks the tackle. Gets to the 30. Still on his feet. And Howell will go to the 32-yard line. And then he's brought down there. It'll be 1st and 10. We'll get our first look in the second half at this Ironton offense. But they are in a distinctly comeback mode now. Down 17.
Interesting, too, trying to get some body language. Reed Carrico was the first person to go back to where the huddle was going to start. So the bottom line is, he's like, let's go, guys.
Let's go. We got to move here.
Mm-hmm. We got to get going. And they certainly do. 7:24 left in the third. 17-0, Kirtland.
Trips. Actually, no, make the 2 receivers left. Now 1 to the right. That's Grizzle. And shotgun for quarterback Gage Salyers. First down on the ground. They'll go to Carrico. Bounces off the first tackle. Keeps himself going and gets it to the 36-yard line. About a gain of 4. Louis Lonkar was the guy who kind of made a collision and forced Carrico to be bounced there. And then finally the rest of the Hornets were able to go make the play.
Carrico's a big-time player. There's no doubt about it. You need one, unless you're tripping him up running wide, you need more than one man to take him down in the middle of the line between the tackles.
He gets 4 on that run. Second down. It's now 11 carries for 38 yards for the junior, Reed Carrico. Out of the shotgun. They will fake to Carrico. Salyers will roll to the right. He throws. I believe that's Deere on the catch. No, make that Howell on the catch to the 40, out to the 41-yard line.
Got 5.
And it'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Kyle Howell gets 5 on that. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. Ball at the right hash. Clock moving. We're under 6:30 to go in the third quarter.
Interesting play there, because the quarterback, the quarterback, Salyers, took off on a dead run.
Yeah.
Like he was going to turn the corner, and then bang, just popped it.
Now Salyers will keep it on 3rd and 1, and he'll go to the left and should have the first down. Yeah, he went on a different. He had gone to his right in that goal line situation before halftime and got stood up and stonewalled. That time he found enough to get a 1-yard run, and that was all he needed for the first down.
One thing I want to flash back to Kirtland on offense, no doubt they've opened up the playbook. I was just told they're running plays that some of the faithful have not seen all year, Dino.
Doesn't shock me a bit. Out of the pistol, another new look here for Ironton. Salyers will fake handoff, throw to his right. Howell with the catch at the 45, and still on his feet. And finally gets brought down. Mason Russ over there on the far side with Louis Lonkar and also Anthony DeMarco. It'll be a gain of about 4 on first down.
Interesting. Salyers now takes off on a dead sprint to
the
his
left, yeah.
So they're trying to give a look that he may, sooner or later, he's going to tuck and turn it upfield. So you got to keep a spy on him. Earl Bruce is called the old crack and load. What
Yeah.
do is, I'm going to crack you and then load up on the next guy if indeed he does pitch it off.
Ironton brings Ashton Duncan in, and he'll be a tight end to the right. 2 receivers here on the near side, 2nd down and 6. Ironton has it at their own 46. It'll be a keeper. Salyers running across the 50 into Kirtland territory, and he'll be brought down very close to the first down. Joey Grazia, the cornerback, on the stop. They're going to mark him about a half yard shy. It'll be 3rd down and less than a yard as we go under 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, and I think we might have a stoppage and play for a measurement.
Well, if where the placement was, they're short. And I thought he was over. I thought he was to about the 46-yard line.
I did too.
They placed it shy of the 47.
And they're going to bring the chains out anyway and take a look. But from our angle, which is pretty good
They
here.
call me the human measuring stick. You know that.
Yes, I've known that about you.
Okay.
They'll stretch it out. We think they're going to be short. And I think we're going to be still right.
They're short 3-4 inches.
Yeah, I think so. They're going to have 4. They're going to have 4 of the officials.
No, I know I went to undergrad, grad school, and law school for more than that, but who the man when it comes to measurements?
You are the man. Yeah, they're bringing the ball out now to the left hash, and they'll stretch it out again. You can put the ball anywhere you want. It's still going to be a few inches short here, guys. I'm telling you. Now, apparently they're satisfied, so it'll be 3rd and inches. They were actually, I got to say, they were actually closer to the first down than I thought they were, but it will be now 3rd and inches. We'll see if Gage Salyers just keeps the football and puts his head down and tries to get the first down as the clock goes back in motion. Salyers indeed will keep it. He'll run to the right, and
he definitely has this.
Yeah, he's got the surge forward to the 46-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Ironton Fighting Tigers.
Puts it behind Matt Davis, Lucas White, and Riley Boggs, the 2 guards and the center.
Ironton with a long hill to overcome now, down by 17.
Clock running, too.
Yeah.
4:35 left in 3rd.
Grizzle out wide left. Hacker goes wide right. At some point, they're going to have to throw it here. Salyers on the ground, goes to Carrico, nothing doing.
Oh, he got chopped down
doing.
like wheat in the field.
Yeah, Alfieri there on the stop. Let's see, who else was at the bottom of the pile? I saw Alfieri, and also for Kirtland, I think Angelo Blasini was also in there on the tackle, 44.
One thing I've noticed, and don't get me wrong, he's a great ball player, Reed Carrico. Any division team in the state would take him. Runs kind of high. When he first hits the holes, you're able to get him around the legs. He's not pumping those knees, trying to catch you up underneath the chin.
Hacker and Howell out wide left. Grizzle goes wide right. Shotgun with a pistol on 2nd down and 9. And Salyers looks left, throws left, and it's going to be incomplete trying to get the Hacker at the 15-yard line. And it's kind of a delayed pattern. It's kind of was looking short to Howell, then finally looked upfield to Hacker, but pretty well covered by Joey Grazia, and it's going to be 3rd and 9.
Salyers, very, very deceptive in when he's doing things. Everybody thought that was going to be a run as he took a step to the line of scrimmage, faked a pump to the left, and then threw deep, but great coverage down there.
Salyers now 5 out of 10 for 96 yards in this football game. Hacker wide left, and 2 receivers will go right. Big 3rd and 9 for Ironton at the Kirtland 45. Salyers will roll right. He's got room. Now he's in trouble. Throws, and it's incomplete. Was trying to get it over on the near side, and it was a very short window to Colin Freeman, but it was pretty well covered anyway by Kirtland, and it's going to be 4th and 9, and you would think at this point, Trevin Pendleton's going to say, we got to go for it here, down 17. And
they ran out of field that time, and even though Salyers threw the football, the receiver was already 2 yards out of bounds.
And Munch now here, you look at it with 3:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ironton can't get this first down. They are in a world of hurt with Kirtland going to get the football back with all kinds of momentum and a 17-point lead. Pistol look here for the Tigers. 4th and 9. Salyers looking left. Fires over the middle. Incomplete. Looking for Howell at the 25-yard line. And he was well covered by Anthony DeMarco. And the Hornets have held yet again.
DeMarco doing a great job staying with him step for step. It's interesting because a couple other DBs looked around immediately.
Yep.
You never know if you see dirty laundry on the field, but there was no possibility of that in any way.
Well, I think Grazia on the previous play was when he was covering Hacker. Joey had gotten whistled for the pass interference penalty in the first half, and he did exactly what you said. Turned around, looked at the official, and said, "Hey, look, I wasn't face guarding, I wasn't grabbing, I was good." It'll be a stoppage in play here. It's more or less like a TV timeout with 3:31 to go here in this third quarter. Kirtland's going to take over at their own 45, really in the driver's seat right now with a 17-0 lead.
What do you do? And again, one thing you have to, you want to force TOs, turnovers. You want to get picks. You want to get some fumbles. Bottom line is, but when you start tackling for the football, remember this: you're not tackling the man. If you don't get the ball, whoosh,
you're hugging
they're
air.
Off to the races.
Yep. That's it. Ryan Cavanaugh.
Good to see Ryan Cavanaugh.
It is good to see Ryan Cavanaugh working over to our right on the OHSAA network. Bump into him quite a bit.
Attorney extraordinaire in town.
I didn't know he's an attorney now, but
Yes.
I see him. You see him on STO and everything. But it's funny, the games we picked this year, our nominees that the fans voted on this year for our game of the week, oftentimes were Spectrum games, and I bumped into Ryan and David Bacon a couple of times, both in the regular season and then in the postseason. Most recently, a couple weeks ago, we were there. We saw them there. I don't know if they did the Avon. I don't know if those guys were there for the Avon Massillon game, but they were there for Menor and St. Ed's. I saw them there. We were all there at Barberton for Massillon.
It's all family, okay? That's what football means. Now, the question for you is this: do we start high school basketball next week, or is that after the first?
That's after the first. How about that? I gotta double check. I think I gotta make sure a score that I was given is correct from Tyler Carey.
Don't tell me it's 21-0.
Yeah, I think it's 21-7 actually. As on the first down, Liam Powers was buried as he tried to make the handoff to Sullivan because Reed Carrico came in on a blitz and was untouched.
That's what he needs to do. Now, number one, he can't. You got to pick him up. Who's it? David Njoku down there blocking?
Right.
Who doesn't block?
Right.
But the bottom line, Carrico making a big play. And we mentioned earlier, though, but the clock is still running, is that this is Reed Carrico time because he's a playmaker. He's a D1 recruit. He needs to do his thing here in a big way.
By the way, Cavaliers lose tonight to the 76ers, 141-94.
That'll come back to haunt them.
Yeah. 4-yard loss.
Not the Cavs, the Sixers.
Yeah. 2nd and 14. Mason Sullivan gets the pitch, breaks a tackle, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and then gets an extra yard to the 46. That time he was able to bounce around Reed Carrico and gets back to the 46, so he picks up about 5 on that run. It'll be third and 9.
Salyers got him. And I'm going to tell you this. If Salyers doesn't get him, he's got sideline. And nothing but green between him and the end zone.
Yeah, halftime of the Big Ten Championship, Wisconsin 21, Ohio State 7.
There was a problem, too, quickly before the game. Chase Young doing a Myles Garrett, not hitting somebody with a helmet, telling us he's the best defensive player in the country. Oof. Please knock that stuff off. And where Garrett got that, I don't know either.
3rd and 9 out of the triple stack. It's a keeper that time, and a good job by Powers to get outside, but he got tackled down by Trent Hacker at the 49-yard line. Going to be well short of the first down. Well read by Hacker and Ironton. And on 4th down and about 6, Tiger Laverty will send in the punt team.
Do you let the clock run down, take a 5-yard penalty here? You're punting anyway.
Yeah, I would.
So that'll put it down to...
give Alfieri a little extra room? Sure, why not? Alfieri waiting for the snap back at his 38.
He's got 10 seconds before he needs to snap it.
Howell in single safety at the 15. There it is. And Alfieri gets the kick away. Carrico was coming in on that rush, by the way. Howell with the catch at the 15-yard line, breaks one tackle, gets to the 20, and goes out to about the 23-yard line. Yeah, all things considered, that's not bad. It's a pretty good effort there from Kyle Howell, and with 1:14 to go in the third quarter, Ironton got exactly what they needed, a quick 3 and out, and they'll go right back to work, but down 17 here to Kirtland.
Well, all the big linemen went sprinting out saying, hey, now's our time. But the thing is this, last drive I thought was their time. They must do something here. I only won 14, not necessarily score in the third, but score on this possession.
Yeah, I mean, and quickly. I mean, it is advantage Hornets right now with a minute 14 to go in the third quarter. Kirtland 17, Ironton nothing. Out of the pistol, 1st and 10 for Gage Salyers with 3 wide receivers. Salyers to throw, looking, firing over the middle. Grizzles wide open at the 30, at the 20, to the house. Touchdown, Ironton.
77 yards, and you know what? That pass and catch could not have been prettier. Salyers wound up, let it fly, caught him.
Down to 10. So it's 17 down to 10. You know Tiger Laverty is telling his team to be ready. And it's not going to be an onside. It'll be a full kickoff guard. And we'll see what the Heights kick here. But Trevin Pendleton. converge at the 9-yard line for a 1-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and long.
And Joe, that hole was wide and
Yes,
bad.
it was.
It closed. But they're playing a heck of a game, and Mason Sullivan keeps sliding over to double team some of the receivers.
Here we go. Big could be Ironton. Yeah, I think Trevin Pendleton was smart there. It's like, wait a minute here. They were all set to go, and he's like, 4th and 10, 4th and essentially the football game. Let's talk about it here.
It's been amazing, too, because Kirtland's been shuffling. We told you they usually play a 4-4-3. They've been shuffling extra defensive backs in there, and who, if Sullivan's playing safety or whoever's playing safety, has just been brilliant today. I know quite a few times we've seen who's been out there. Andonian's been out there. Russ just doing a great job.
Yeah, we welcome everybody back here to the booth here on Facebook Live, and we apologize. We were off there for a moment here. It's a horrible time for a live player to go belly up, but we make adjustments. That's what we do. Good to have Andrew and Kelly and Ronnie. And
what's up?
Let's see if everybody hopefully can hear me here. And good to have everybody back with us. Again, 6:21 to go, 17-7. Kirtland.
You're hearing us now.
Yeah, hopefully you're hearing us now. 4th and 10, and Ironton is in a must-make situation here.
I will usually say this is the biggest play of the game so far. This is the biggest play of the game.
Well, if Ironton doesn't get it here, you may as well start engraving the trophy.
4th and 10.
Salyers looking over the middle, pass deflected and incomplete, almost intercepted by Mason Sullivan. It doesn't matter. The Hornets will take over with 6:10 to play here in the football game.
Now, there is a must. A must right now is 3 and out for the defense of Ironton against the Kirtland offense. That's the only chance they have, a 3 and out. But put it this way, a minute and 20 seconds is going to run off the clock regardless.
Oh, exactly right. All right.
Timeout's important. Ironton has 2 left.
Okay. Now, for those on Facebook Live, can you hear us? I'm getting a couple people are saying we're not hearing anything, and I can't really figure out why because we are plugged in. Andrew says he can't hear us. Andrew says no sound. Anybody else hearing us? Let us know. We want to make sure. Carol says no sound. I don't understand why we have no sound. I'm going to try to figure that out. Did I unplug something here? As on first down, it will be a carry for the Hornets, and it's Liam Powers. Okay, Wendy says she can hear us. Okay, thank you guys for letting us know.
But you've got a man down, and it's Cameron Deere, the fullback on offense, wide receiver, and other middle linebacker for the Ironton D. Deere is down, and Carrico is hitting harder than ever. As you say, well, Munch, should you always hit hard? No. I mean, there's something that just comes out of you a bit more, and he's doing that, but he can't do it all by himself. 5:56 left in the game. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Kirtland from the Ironton 41-yard line. 5:56 left again.
And it's an injury timeout here for Cameron Deere. And, we appreciate everybody sticking with us here from Andrew, I don't know why you can't hear us because everybody else says they can. But here's what we can tell you for those who can't hear us. 17-7, it's Kirtland on top of Ironton with 5:56 to go in the football game. Kirtland will have a 2nd and 9 at the Ironton 41 after the 1-yard pickup by Liam Powers. And right now, the Hornets stand very firmly on their 5th state championship in this decade.
So you're talking 5 for the Hive.
5 for the Hive. And, I mean, we still have a ways to go. Everybody has been, all the Kirtland people have been saying, hey, listen, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. And I get it.
We're stating facts here, all right?
Just trying
you got it there, bud?
Yeah, I'm trying to set this up at a point where, because we had to, for some reason, when I went to Facebook Live instead of on our app, it's making me turn the phone vertically for whatever reason, and it's giving me all kinds of problems.
See if I can give you a little hint here.
As the good news is for Ironton, Cameron Deere is up and okay.
Helmet off, he will be walked off the field. Boy, Deere is one heck of a player.
Well, yeah, all those linebackers. I mean, the thing with Ironton that impresses me, and we talked about with Kirtland, so many of the guys on this team do go offense and defense. And, Carrico doesn't take a play off. Salyers doesn't take a play off. All right, guys, sorry for a second. You'll have to see us like this here just so I can have my hands back. But I promise we'll try to get a better angle here in a second.
2nd and 9, Dino.
2nd down and 9. At the 41-yard line, backs will be split in the backfield as Liam Powers will watch the play clock and game clock trickle down. And let's see, 3 seconds on the play clock. He'll hand to Mason Sullivan, finds a little hole to the 35, and Mason will be brought down there a little bit shy of the first down. It'll be a 3rd down and 3. 2 timeouts remaining for Ironton. Kirtland has all their timeouts remaining.
Amazing, too, because Sullivan kept fighting. Junior Jones and Gage Salyers both came up to try to get him just another little lick to push him back a little bit further once he got his forward progress.
So it's a 3rd down and 2 for the Kirtland Hornets. And, again, they're breaking the huddle with 10 seconds on the play clock. And they're absolutely just kind of winding things down here. 3rd and 2. Powers gives. Sullivan, he's not going to get there. Hemmed in and brought down
he didn't get
at
to
the
line
34.
Of scrimmage,
that late surge, they might mark him back there at the 34.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean generously, but it's going to be a 4th and 2 with 4:37 to go in the football game. Timeout. And it's Ironton taking their 2nd timeout.
1 left.
So this is the situation here. If you're Kirtland, you're too close to punt.
I agree.
You're too far for a field goal, and you certainly don't want to risk a field goal anyway. You don't want to risk a block and a return and a run back. So you're not going to kick the field goal. So you're going to go for it.
What do you do? Do you? I mean, again, the rational fact is, the closest point between the closest way to get to two from one point B, point A to point B is in a straight line. However, there's the fact without Nathan Cochran, Junior Jones, Seth Fossen, Reed Carrico standing between you and the point you want to get to.
Exactly.
How do you run? What do you do on this play?
I think, you know what I would actually do? Maybe do the fake to Mason Sullivan and use Gage Sullivan on the outside. That's worked well for them tonight. But Mason Sullivan all year has been their go-to guy. 8 yards per carry, 30 touchdowns, now 31 after the one earlier tonight. He has been their home run hitter all year long, and we'll see if he's got another one. He and DeMarco split in the backfield. Russ on the wing. Pitch out. Mason Sullivan runs to his left. First down inside the 30. Down to the 29-yard line. Well, all night long they've been aggressive, and running unconventional plays. That time Tiger Laverty said, I want the ball to the guy who's been my man all year long, and Sullivan delivered behind that offensive line. First down.
I'll call him. Alfieri, German, Malvicino were the ones with the key blocks on that side.
Clock down to 4:15 and counting. Kirtland.
Your defense, you're hoping to get a TO, but you also know you still need a tackle. And again, they're not going to throw the football, so you're going to have to try to pry it loose. Remember, you have to tackle the man, too.
Sullivan and DeMarco split in the backfield. Little delayed blitz that time, and they bring the Sullivan down for no gain at the 28. I think they had a linebacker blitz.
They did off the right side. Interesting, too, because you know what? Sullivan is getting pummeled today, and he just hops up and walks back to the huddle.
Second down and 10.
No gain, second and 10 for 28.
Good to see Cameron Deere back in there. He's, after the tackle, I like this, limps back to his position. As soon as the play happens, he goes full bore.
Yes.
He got banged up pretty good before.
Second down and 10. 3:20 and counting to play here in the fourth quarter. Kirtland 17, Ironton 7. Pitch out to Sullivan left side, and he'll squeeze out a yard or so, and that's really about it.
Foster get him around the ankles.
Yep, Junior Jones up top.
Mm-hmm. Junior Jones got him too.
Colin Freeman on the tackle.
And
Freeman
in the middle. I mean,
you have to get everybody over there. You have to stop the man with the ball.
That's right. Got about a yard or so. Third and long.
2:45 left in the game. 17-7. Kirtland on top of Ironton.
10-point edge, and now a 3rd and 9. And again, this is another stage where we're in 4-down country here for the Hornets. So they don't get it here. I mean, they're going to be going for it. And I think Tiger Laverty wants a timeout here.
This is Tigers, yes, indeed.
Play clock was down to 1, but I think it was just, hey, let's make sure everybody's on the same page. This is, again, it's not the end of the world if you don't get the first down on this play. Let's try and get something that at least gives us a chance to get 4th down and one more first down, and you can start talking about victory formation.
Well, the stands are just, both sides have represented themselves well. Just beautiful, beautiful. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, of course, named after the owner of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, big supporter and advocate of the Hall of Fame and this game and the Hall of Fame game, obviously, during Hall of Fame weekend. And this is a beautiful place. Second year in a row we've been down here, and we're about to be partner 4 for 4. Calling state championship games.
Good job, Don.
Here in this stadium.
And, it's interesting, too, because wouldn't it be nice, wouldn't it be fitting this year, because he belongs in, that Clay Matthews gets his gold jacket?
I sure hope so.
And conversely, when it comes baseball time, I had a chance to speak to Omar Vizquel the other day, and he definitely belongs in.
3rd and 9, back to action. DeMarco in motion left, and I think we have another offsides against the Ironton Tigers.
It was the outside linebacker, looked like Crabtree, and again, Cochran the nose tackle.
And again, I mean, Trevin Pendleton is going to have nightmares about this because you just had your whole team over to talk about it, and again, out of a timeout or a stoppage and play, on a crucial 3rd and down situation, his team jumps off sides. Now instead of 3rd and 9, it's 3rd and 4.
You almost have to put that on the coach because he's telling them things. Maybe he's giving them a little too much to think about.
Maybe. You're right. Maybe. So a much more manageable situation here for Kirtland. 2:28 to go in the game. 10-point lead for the Hornets. Now a 3rd and 4 at the Ironton 22. And this time it'll be Liam Powers keeping it, going forward. It should have the first down on a second effort inside the 18 to the 17-yard line.
My friend. He needed to get to the 18 and a half, and he got down to the 17.
And folks on the Kirtland sidelines can do math, and I think they're starting to realize that basically with only one timeout left, Ironton can do very little to stop the clock now.
5 for the Hive, my friend.
5th state championship in school history. They have all come in this decade. 2011, that was Division V. 2013, 2015, and 2018 in Division VI. And now, just less than 2 minutes away from number 5 back in Division V, as we will see now the victory formation. Powers goes to a knee with 1:40 to go. And Ironton, I don't think Trevin Pendleton is going to use that last time out.
Does he understand just the fate's been sealed?
I think so.
No need to do it. You know what? I'll say it. You do it when you don't know what you're doing. Okay,
yes.
To prolong the obvious.
Oh, by the way, partner, thank you for adjusting that.
No problem, my friend.
Appreciate that.
Least I can do.
We'll Munch now will head on the field after this, and we will talk to Mr. Laverty and maybe grab a player interview or two. Tiger Laverty's getting real good at doing state championship post-game interviews. As, again, Liam Powers goes to a knee. We're under a minute to go.
Of course, Liam, as we noted earlier, the pride of St. Anselm. And now the pride of Kirtland High School, the Hornets. Yeah. And again, Tiger Laverty making sure that program stays healthy.
Ironton did take the timeout. They've got one remaining with no remaining now with 50 seconds to go. It'll be 3rd and 12, and the celebration essentially is starting for the Kirtland Hornets.
Interesting that the starters are still on the field there. I would have thought that perhaps that Ironton would clear the bench, put 11 kids in who practice their butts off, and let them play it down.
Now, don't be surprised, and I haven't seen him yet. There was talk that Caleb Stevenson, who was the district's Defensive Player of the Year in Division V, a tremendous linebacker, but injured his knee against Manchester. They might try to bring him. He wanted to play this game. And Tiger Laverty's like, no, come on. He's a senior. We're not going to do that. But if the situation was right, they were going to try to look at bringing him in potentially. And Munch, if you can see down on the far side, is that 28 or 29? That might be Luke Gardner. But
let's get the field glasses out here on him.
There was talk. I think that might be Caleb. I think it is, actually. Playing, I think that is Stevenson, who was playing one of the wings there, getting an opportunity to be on the field.
Indeed.
Good for, you know what, that's great. Because Gardner's the deep man. So Caleb Stevenson can say, I was on the field for another state championship, and I got to be on the field. That'll make the knee feel a lot better. 31 seconds, one more kneel.
Yes.
Back-to-back. And number 5 for Tiger Laverty. This will be win number 174 in his 14-year career. So it's very possible that in 2 years' time, he'll already be over 200 wins. And he's got 5 state championships. As Powers will backpedal to the 31 and go to a knee. That's the ball game. That's 5 for the Hive. The Kirtland Hornets have done it again. They are state champions in 2019. This year in Division V, they beat the Ironton Fighting Tigers 17-7 to capture Tiger Laverty's 5th state championship.
Just amazing. The way the game started was amazing, too, that everyone, including people in some of the boxes up here, saying Liam Powers can't throw, Liam Powers can't throw. What's he to start the game? 47-yard pass. And, Dino, from that moment on, from that play on, it was Kirtland's ball game.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable that, the way they started, it was a fearless game plan. And then the other thing, Munch, that stood out to me tonight was the defense. And the way that Kirtland's defense, especially in that second quarter, as Ironton finally started to get things going, they bent but never broke. And that goal line stand before halftime really ended up being the final kind of difference in the ball game, I thought.
It was just amazing. Neither team gave quarter. They both hit. They both executed greatly. Few offsides penalties after timeouts turned out to be backbreakers, too, for the Ironton Fighting Tigers.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us up here in the booth. Plenty more coverage of Kirtland in the state championship victory on the field coming up in just a few moments. Watch WKYC.com. Also tonight on What's Next with Nick Camino at 11. Pat Chiesa here. We'll have coverage there for you again. The state championship, again, belongs to the Kirtland Hornets. They're the D5 champs. They beat Ironton 17-7.
5 for the Hive, Dino.
5 for the Hive. All right, for Mark Munch Bishop, I'm Dave DeNatale. Thanks again for watching, everyone. From Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, have a great night.